Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, whenever you might be listening to this. This is the BuzzBucks Podcast.
Podcast Stanley Cup Finals Round 2.
It's week two, but yes.
I mean, yeah, you get it.
Stanley Cup end as well.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
over.
uh, I'm Bert, and that's Clay.
I'm Clay.
And the Stanley Cup is over. Clay rediscovered his
I've rediscovered
soundboard.
you. Look, it did. I love the Stanley Cup final was awesome,
Yeah, it
but
was great.
that just means the season's over, and that makes me sad.
True. So we
But before
do.
we talk about that,
Yes.
what are we drinking?
I am drinking. Is this from Abomination? Looks like it's from Abomination. Uh, sorry. Yes, Abomination Brewing Company. Their Toxic Earth, which is a double IPA with honey and matcha.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I don't know if it
it's
sounds good,
much
but
stronger
it
than I
sounds
realized it was. But
interesting.
well,
Um,
Abomination is really cool
oh,
can
they have
art,
great artwork.
and this one is like a deer with a Cthulhu face. I don't know if you can see it, Clay.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
I
a
see it.
pretty sick artwork. So I went off of that, and I usually like
Yeah,
Abominations
that's
beers as well. What do you got?
I got BrewDog out of Columbus, Ohio. I'm drinking their Elvis juice. I know I've had this on here before.
I
Their
think we
citrus
definitely. I'm
IPA.
pretty sure we had BrewDog
We
on
had
the show
BrewDog.
back in the day when we were trying to do like a beer from every city, which became
Yeah,
too difficult.
this was our Columbus Blue Jackets beer.
Yeah, I don't think it was that one. I think it was a
It
different one,
wasn't,
but
but the Elvis juice is so good.
yep.
Oh,
This
it's a citrus IPA. It's so good.
this Toxic Earth is from Abomination is actually quite good. I don't really taste the matcha
Oh, awesome,
necessarily, but I definitely taste the honey.
fantastic.
All right, well, let's talk about our upcoming episodes because Stanley Cup is over. It would have been over this
Hmm.
week anyway.
Yep,
If it went to 7 games, Game 7, I believe, would have been on Wednesday, so it would have ended this week. Anyway,
upcoming
so
weekend.
I believe, what is today? Today's the 15th. The draft is coming up, I
Yep,
think, next
like
week.
10 days.
I'm pretty sure next week. Yeah, maybe late next week. So we have that look forward to. And
Yep,
then free agency, I believe, is
the week after
a
that,
week
I
after
think.
that. So we have essentially, not counting this episode, I think 3 more episodes of our season.
Yeah.
We'll do next week before the draft. We'll do the week after the draft, right before free agency, and then we will do a free
The
agency roundup
Yep.
afterwards the following week. And then, as you guys know, if you've listened for a while, we take the summer off, and then we will be
Yeah.
back
Absolutely.
in September at some point. So just so just so you guys know, we're
Yep.
winding down on the season. We can't do episodes through the summer because there won't
When
be
there's
anything to
nothing
talk
going
about.
on. Yeah.
I know. Shout out to the hockey guy because he keeps making
He
content through
finds
the.
stuff.
He
Yeah.
goes back in history and talks about old seasons and like.
Old players.
Kudos to him for finding enough content
Yeah.
for the summertime, but I don't think we could do that. We certainly don't want to, copy off of him or anybody else. So
Yep.
you guys know it's just me and Clay talking at each other and to you guys
Absolutely.
about what we think is going on in the league. So we've never done the retrospective stuff, so we won't, and we won't.
And I don't have it in me to do that, to be honest.
Honestly, me neither. All right. So before we get to the games, there is some news to go over.
Yep.
More of the awards have been announced. Landeskog won both the Masterson and the Messier awards. Masterson is essentially for comeback player of the year, more or less.
Yeah.
And then the Messier is the leadership award. Hilarious that it's named after Messier. We say it every year.
Well, also
Uh,
the fact that I'm pretty sure Messier is a huge hand of giving that out,
yeah, so I think that's true. I think Messier may just be the one that picks that award. I
which
think
is
it goes to a
hilarious.
captain, maybe? Maybe it has to go to a captain.
Maybe it has to go to a
I would
captain.
have to look into that, but yeah. So I think deserved for both. Landeskog, captain of the President's Trophy team,
Hmm.
and he came back from some horrific knee
Yes.
knee injuries over the last couple
Yeah.
of years.
It was his two. He missed 2 years for his knee.
Yeah, so he had fairly good season in my opinion, especially coming back from not playing for 2 years. So yeah,
Yes, but
I think there's always an
Chicago
argument.
had not Chicago. Colorado has to like uh figure something out. Unfortunately,
Oh, yeah, we'll get
with
to
him.
that when we do their wrap ups. Yeah, there's some teams that are gonna have a come to Jesus in this upcoming off
Yeah.
season about what is happening with their
Yeah.
teams because almost all of the teams I'm thinking of are very good teams, but they're not good enough, right?
Right.
And we're going to talk about one of those today, at least with my teams. I don't know about your teams, but they're in a tough spot where there's a lot of teams that have a shitload of cap space, and then a handful that don't, and
Yeah, that
they're going to
don't.
have to figure something out to be cap compliant and also field a full team next year.
An actual team, yeah.
Minnesota
Ooh.
re-signed Michael McCarron to a 6-year, $3.33 million extension. And he has a full no move clause in the first 3 years
Yeah.
of
So
that contract.
there was this
He played
because of
well
all the
for them when he came over after the trade, I will say.
the whole this whole Dylan Larkin scenario situation
Yeah.
had a lot of stupid takes come out of the woodwork with like, hey, like this is like no trade clauses, no move clauses are stupid, and not everybody should have them, and only they should only be given like one or two play like to one or two players or the best players, yada yada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and guys, do you not remember the whole flat cap? The cap was flat.
Right.
So in order to
That's where
keep
most of these came from.
wages down, you have to have an incentive of not getting shipped out
Correct. At the
with
first opportunity.
with your with your pants down.
Yeah.
Like
I think there
getting moved.
is a middle ground to
Um,
be had where you can get a full move clause, but like if you, I think you would have to formalize the requesting a trade, right? I think there would have to be like the player has to put in a trade request, like actual document trade request, and then perhaps a no move clause becomes a 10 team list or something like that. Okay, we're back. Sorry, we had to pause there. No, I hit the pause already, or
okay,
the
cool.
unpause already, because Jenny had something to say to Clay, and was not gonna
uh,
wait. So
no, it's
what
not
was I
gonna
saying?
wait.
Oh, I could see a scenario where that happens, where the trade request becomes a formal request, and then the no move clause turns into like a 10 team thing. But I don't
But
know
like
how that's gonna work, right?
also like it's a stupid suggestion. Like it's again, it's
Sure.
something
Oh yeah,
to
I'm not saying that
it's
fixes anything, but
it's something to like players want stability.
yeah,
And for certain players that can command more money, they can negotiate taking less money
for a no move
for
clause, no trade
protection.
clause, yeah.
And we watched. This is the first time, not the first time, but we rarely see players weaponize it,
That's
like
true.
Larkin had.
'Cause I mean, Larkin is
He,
really the only one who's weaponized it, right? In
I mean, you
in
could argue that Kachuk did, or
Yeah, but
Matt
he
Kachuk
didn't
did.
really have a no move clause, and that
It was a
trade at the time, that trade was a blockbuster, like right
yes,
because they got Mackenzie
because it
Weegar
was
and Jonathan Huberdeau back in that trade. Uh oh. Okay, we
Technical
had
difficulty.
we
What are
had to
we talking
pause again. That one was a technical difficulty all of a sudden. Um, what were we talking about? Oh, the
about? Kachuk.
Kachuk trade at the time was a blockbuster trade. They got Huberdeau, they got Mackenzie Weegar.
And he
Everybody
also
was like,
assigned and
it
trade.
was also
Yeah.
a sign and trade, and everybody was like, oh, that's a pretty good trade for both sides.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jonathan Huberdeau has not worked out in Calgary. That has been a big problem. But at the time, everybody was like, that was a 100-point player for a 100-point player and more.
Right.
So
But
that
we
one,
we watched last year the Rangers weaponize the no move clause.
that is true.
We've watched teams weaponize the no trade, no move clauses, and a player finally does. I mean, we
And then,
thought
yeah,
the Rangers were being assholes,
yes,
but
we did.
um, a player finally does, and now it's a problem.
And now it's an issue.
So
Yeah. So I think everybody will get over it, especially after Larkin is traded.
yeah,
Because I know Elliot Friedman said he thinks there's more trade requests coming this summer, but the other ones that have been suggested, like Hellebuck and Werenski, um,
didn't we suggest Revensky?
I think we did, but then I saw other like talking heads who clearly
Oh,
listen to our
cool.
podcast also
Look
mention
at
it,
us.
that they thought it was a possibility. Neither one has happened yet, but people are
Look at
thinking it
us.
might be a possibility.
Um,
Um, those ones
there's
are.
another one. I
There was another one that we were talking about that I can't think of right now, but
Barzell.
oh, Barzell was another one, yeah. But those guys are actually they're very similar situations to Larkin. Larkin has played his entire career in Detroit. He doesn't like the direction that Detroit is going, so he has requested a trade. Now,
Yep.
yes, he only gave a three-team list, but there's also been scuttlebutt that Iserman's talked to his agent, and they're kind of willing to open that up to more
Yeah.
teams. We'll see what happens with that, um,
It's
but
also funny.
Werenski and Hellebuck are in similar situations where they're Werenski has been the best player on that team for a long time, and
Yep.
Columbus is just they're trying, but they're not winning. They're not
Hmm.
making the playoffs on a consistent basis. And Werenski maybe just wants out of that situation.
Yeah.
Hellebuck, like they won the President's Trophy last year, and it
They
was
just
because
signed an extension.
he played a god mode last year. But
Yep.
maybe he doesn't like the way Winnipeg's going right now
Right.
because the season was pretty bad for them. So maybe he wants out. Maybe he wants to go to a contender. I get it. These guys want to
Yep.
win cups. I understand. They want
They
that
do.
championship that they don't have. So and it sucks that this is happening to the Canadian teams like Winnipeg, like Quinn Hughes out of Vancouver.
Yep.
Detroit's not Canadian, but you know what I mean.
They're an original six.
So
So
it does suck that it's happening to the Canadian teams, but it is because the Canadian teams are terribly run,
mismanaged.
are
Yep.
very badly run. I think we had this conversation last week, right?
We
So
did.
we don't have to rehash it, but that comes into that is a factor that
It's a
and
huge factor.
a lot of like Canadian talking heads are just like pretending that's not a factor, and which is just I don't understand. And it's not
Yep.
like none of these players are like, I hate Canada, I want out of here. But you guys are acting like that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Connor Hellebuck even said, I love Winnipeg, I love living here. But, he has not
Winnipeg.
requested a trade yet. But,
Winnipeg
you
is
know,
clearly, based on some actions from interviews last night, Winnipeg is clearly a place and a team that no one wants to go to.
yeah.
But
I think
once
it's more
they're
the geography.
there,
They
well,
like
once
it.
they're there,
Yeah.
they don't necessarily want to leave.
Well, because like Connor
Um,
Scheifele and Kyle O'Connor have not tried to leave.
Yeah.
Those two guys signed big ass extensions there.
Yes. Also,
They've never even tried to
Hel-
leave.
Hellebuck signed that big ass extension
Yeah, that might just be like talk from the guys to get
Because he's-
clickbait, kind of stuff
because
too.
he's American. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just be like Saravelli or Friedman just like being like, I don't know, maybe Hellebuck,
But
just
Friedman's
for stuff to
more
talk
respected.
about. That's true. I
Yeah.
can't remember who put that out there. Friedman did say that he has been hearing about some other trade requests, but he didn't have the
Yes,
full
but he didn't.
information yet.
He didn't name names.
No, he didn't say anything. He
Uh,
just said there's a few more that I know, but I don't have all the information yet. So he didn't say
right.
who they were. So that
And
caused everybody to
that's why
start
he gets
speculating that,
and
out of
that's why
control.
he gets the insider information
True. That is
because
why,
he
because
doesn't
he's
just start
respectful.
throwing
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
I mean, one of those guys he was talking about may have been Darnell Nurse, who did request a trade this week.
Yep.
That one's going to be interesting
Interesting.
because,
Let's go back to McCarron. Let's
okay,
go
yeah,
back.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
finish McCarron
You're
because
right.
again, it. That's an interesting.
You're right. We didn't even
Uh,
talk about fucking McCarron at all with
no, we
this.
didn't. Um,
So McCarron is 31, I believe,
yeah.
and he's pretty solidly a fourth line forward.
Mhm.
And he's like good in that role. He's a good checking line center. And 3.3 million is like that's going to be nothing in the coming years, but the the 6 years is
The 6 years
that's
is rough.
that's rough. And I know it's to
I
bring
think
down the
that's
cap
rough.
hit. It's to bring down the cap hit, but because Minnesota needs all the cap space they can get currently.
Well, there's that, and their center depth is crap. So like
Yes, there's that too.
him being their fourth line center, like because he's good on the face off, he's good
Yes,
defensively.
true.
Um,
Well, they're going to be they're
and the face off is a big part. So he's very good on the face off.
yeah. Faceoffs are
So
very important. They're more important than I think a lot of
on
people realize.
on the fourth line, being a solid like face off winner and good on the boards,
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably gonna suck in the long term. Like, but
But
3 years,
it's kind of what they
full no
need.
move.
You kind of need a guy like that to
Yeah.
make the finals, right? You need that guy
Mhm.
that like in a pinch you can get him out there in the defensive zone and he's going to win that face off for you.
Yep.
You know? But yeah, that 6 years and the full no move clause in the first 3 is a little rough. That's a little rough.
Yeah.
Mike Babcock saga just continues because
Yep.
the
It
NHL
continues.
is going ahead with an investigation into the 2023 accusation. So,
Yeah, that's
catch,
starting shortly.
they said they're going to do it, and just to catch everybody else up on what that means is the NHL was going to do an investigation into what happened in Columbus. However,
And
Mike,
this is the stuff that did not come out publicly. So
yes,
this is
or
not
at least
even
some
about
of
the
it,
phone
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So this is about other stuff that may or may not have happened.
The
And
NHL decided to not go along with their investigation because when he left, they figured he's not coming back.
yeah, they were just like, okay, well,
Well,
that's that, so we won't do it.
well,
But the
that's
NHLPA
stupid.
is pissed that the Oilers are trying to hide or hire him. So the PA said, okay, do that investigation now. And the NHL
Yep.
said, okay, we will.
Yep.
And the NHLPA has already said that they have significant other evidence that has not
Yep.
been made public. I'm
Right. So
really wondering what the fuck that is.
right.
What else did he do? Like,
Well, like again, so you had players like Werenski, Gaudreau, I forgot who else, but like spoke up kind of for Babcock.
and we're like, we didn't think it
Uh,
was that big of a deal.
right. But that's the thing about like bullies and abusers is they know who they can
Yeah.
pick on.
Well,
He's not gonna be a dick to the best players on the team.
that's what I
He's
was
not
gonna
be
say.
a dick
I
to the
doubt
leaders
he
of the team.
was gonna be an asshole to Werenski and
It's the
Gaudreau.
rookies. And
Yeah.
it was Jenner too.
Yeah, and the captain of the team.
Or
So
the other old veteran fringe guys, like he's gonna be a dick to those guys.
yeah, so the thing that we already know that came out is that he went through players' phones, specifically younger players' phones, and then put whatever pictures he could find up on like a video screen in front of the entire team. So that was what precipitated him to resign / be fired, yada yada yada. Get Jarmo Kekalainen fired.
Well, that the NHLPA got involved.
Yeah,
And that's where.
yes,
Yeah.
that's where that all came down to. But Sounds like he did other stuff that was
Right.
not made public. And I don't know. I'm hoping It seems like the NHLPA is really trying to save the Oilers from themselves in
Well, here's
this
the thing.
case.
You mentioned that because like the investigation could cause them to like, the PA is giving them an out
Pretty
through
much.
this
Yeah.
investigation. They gave that. They
Well, they
already
didn't
gave
sign
the.
him to a contract yet. They haven't
That's
signed
true,
anything.
but they already gave the Oilers an out by saying, "Hey, if you're going to continue to hire him, we have to do this
We're doing
investigation."
this investigation.
That's that's the
That's the
attempt on
out.
an out.
Yeah.
That's the out.
You'd be like, "Oh, okay, never mind." You
The
know?
Oilers double down, say, "Go ahead, do the investigation. We're going to hire him." That's They already had a chance
Their
to have
owners
that out.
their owner's such a moron for doing this.
It's
It's
again,
gonna
I
it's gonna whatever's gonna come out is obviously gonna make Babcock look bad. It seems
I
like if
sent
the
I
NHLPA is to be believed.
I sent you the reel. The owner who was twice accused of sexual assault,
Yeah.
the GM
The
who
GM who
is
covered up sexual
covered up his
assault,
sexual assault, is trying to hire a guy who has been
serial
accused
abuser. Yeah.
and
Not
has
of
evidence
sexual
of being
assault, but
a serial abuser. Yep.
yeah,
So
serial verbal and mental abuser.
what do you want?
Yeah. Well, still
Hockey
stands.
culture sucks.
Hockey culture really sucks.
It's so bad.
I saw a video on Instagram. It was two female hockey fans talking to each other. I think
Mhm.
they have a podcast. I apologize. I don't remember what the name of it was, but
Yeah, it was about Carter Hart,
yes, they were
right?
talking about Carter Hart. Oh yeah, I sent it to you. They were
Yeah.
talking about Carter Hart, and they were like, the NHL really needs more women fans that pay attention
Hmm.
because if they had more women fans that were paying attention, they could be way louder about this, about the whole
Yep.
Carter Hart, Dylan Dubé, Cal Foot. I think it was Cal Foot. I never remember which
Yep.
foot it
Calfoot.
was, but
Yeah.
and the other guys about how they should never be near the NHL ever again.
Like
But
also, dude, in the part of this, so Chicago is in the Calder Cup final. Chicago
the
Wolves,
Wolves, yeah,
AHL, their Calder Cup final against the Toronto Marlies. Calfoot is on the
Chicago Wolves, right?
Chicago Wolves, and they someone commented on one of the posts of them going to the finals, like, do a split cow, which is in direct reference on something he did during that night over the Wolves. Yes, gross.
Ugh.
The Wolves official page liked it.
Oh,
Right.
I like
It's
hockey. Hockey culture really makes me not want to like hockey a lot of the time. And like I
so many.
love the game of
It's
hockey.
it's
It's
so many sports too.
it's
Like
so many. Yeah, it's not a hockey
it's
exclusive thing.
all
Like
of the
football
sports.
is
They have
terrible.
awful culture. Baseball is bad.
Baseball is
Like
bad. I'm sure I don't really know too much about basketball is probably pretty bad too. I'm sure
soccer's bad.
soccer is pretty
Soccer's
bad.
soccer's kind of like hockey. Like it's
Yeah.
not good.
So like it's just God, wish I wish sports would just clean it all up, right? And let me not feel bad about watching this, you know?
It's
Cuz I watch the NFL and I'm like, man, half the guys on the field have been arrested for domestic battery. That's cool, you know?
all it is men not holding each other accountable.
That that is a great way to
That's
put
it.
it. That is the
That's
perfect way to put it.
all of it.
That is the perfect way to put it.
Ugh.
I don't know. I mean, progress is inevitable, right? In any situation. You might try to fight against it, but progress is inevitable.
Did I think we were gonna have this rant this episode? No.
No.
Fuck.
But you know what? Fight Mike Babcock.
Fuck Carter
Fight.
Hart.
Fuck Carter Hart. Fuck Cal Foot. Fuck Dylan Dubé. Fuck all you guys. And fuck
Yep.
everybody that protects them or stands up for them because what are you doing? You don't know it.
Look,
You're an asshole too.
and we're already I would say we've been pretty lenient on Carter Hart by saying he was acquitted. Like
I mean,
leaving it at that.
technically he was. Like
Yeah.
he
Oh,
was in the court of law, and I don't like it.
we're not.
I was
No,
sure that
he's
they were all gonna. I don't know about going to jail, but at least be found guilty for it, right?
right.
Um, but
But
and
like, God
I was pretty
dang.
disappointed when they weren't because the
Yeah.
whole situation just is disgusting. Anyway, let's get off of this. Fuck all those guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikita
That's
Kucherov won the
okay.
Hart. I'm gonna hard change into a different topic.
Hard change. Yes, Nikita Kucherov won the Hart, his second one, very much deserved.
Hmm.
Um, to me, it's another reason why going back. Hey, John Cooper shouldn't have won the Adams this
The
year.
Adams. Uh,
Like, because again, I was kind of for it, very much for it. But you won the Adams with the
with the
best
MVP.
goaltender and the MVP
Oh yeah, I
and
forgot
the Vezina.
Vasilevsky won the Vezina. I forgot about that. That's a good point. Like, is
Like,
he really the best coach? Because
is he
he had
really
the
the best
MVP
coach?
and the best and the best goalie on it.
And I dug into the stats because I did a bunch. I did 2 weeks worth of teams this week just because
Oh,
I
okay,
made a mistake I made a mistake and had to like just keep going.
okay.
I don't think I'm doubling down on. I don't think Vasilevsky should have won it.
I was kind of
I'm like,
surprised Sorokin didn't win. I know Sorokin had like 3/4 of a good season, of a really good season, and but Swayman was also pretty consistent the entire
I
year.
think Logan Thompson got robbed
And
personally.
Logan Thompson should have at least been a finalist.
He was
So
fourth.
I know he
I
was
think it's.
fourth, but
I think I'll get into it because that's Tampa's one of the teams I'm doing this week.
sure.
But um, I don't think Vasilevsky should have won the Vesna, and
I do think Kucherov should have won the MVP.
absolutely.
I'm kind of like
I'm
I'm
not
pro Kucherov being the MVP.
that one. I'm not mad
Yeah,
about at all. Now I'm just like, well, all right, Cooper maybe shouldn't have won it this year. I think
Dan
Muse or Ruff.
Muse was robbed. Dan Muse was robbed.
Well, again, Cooper only beat Ruff by like 2 points.
I
It
know
was super
it's
close.
a travesty that Dan Muse was third.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna be
agree.
a homer now. But
Do
like,
it.
look, Dan Muse took over this team. Everybody was like, "Who the fuck is Dan Muse?" When he got hired. This team was supposed to be the Penguins were supposed to be garbage this year,
Yeah.
right down in the bottom. They were supposed to trade everybody off at the trade deadline except for like Crosby and Malkin and Letang. But I don't think you could trade Malkin and Letang. Well, not Letang,
No.
maybe Malkin, but not Letang. And they made the playoffs. Yes, they got bumped in the first round, but that's way better than anybody thought they were going to be. They finished
I
second in the
already
Metro.
I already said, and again, I hate the Penguins,
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
I was very much on the
Yeah,
Muse for Adams. I was Ruff third. Now I'm still with Ruff second and Cooper third and Muse for Adams.
yeah. I totally understand the.
I understand Ruff too
I understand
because
Ruff.
again,
I mean, that's the best season Buffalo's had in 25 years or something like that.
15.
15 years at least.
No, it was 2007 was the last
Was the
time,
last time they won a playoff round, right?
and they went to the Eastern Conference Final and they
Oh,
lost
true,
to
true. They were close in that
yeah.
season, but I think coincidentally Lindy Ruff was the coach then too.
He was.
I'm pretty
He was
sure.
He was the coach the last time they made the
It's
playoffs.
just so crazy that he's still. It's crazy that he's not retired. Like he's been around for a long time at this point.
He just signed a 3-year extension, which is crazy.
I know. I know. I'm just saying he was the coach of Buffalo for like 15 years or something, and then he left.
Yes.
And then he coached a bunch of other
And then
people, and then he's back
15
in
years
Buffalo.
went by,
Yeah,
and then he came
he's just
back,
back in Buffalo. It's crazy.
and he's only 66.
He's just been a coach for so long. He's been around for a long time. I feel like he's been coaching our entire lives. I'm pretty sure, or close to it at least.
He close to it. His first time as a head coach was 97.
That's most of our lives. That's
Yes.
20. Wait. 97, 29 years, nearly 30 years as a head coach.
He was an assistant coach for the Florida Panthers in 93, 94. That's when he
That's
started
kind of
getting
what
it.
yeah, you know what? I was going to guess
Yeah,
it was like around there where he like not a head coach, but like maybe he started breaking into being a coach. That's
yeah.
crazy. And he's only 66. That's
He's
insane.
only 66.
Damn. Damn, Lindy.
Damn,
But like
he looks so much older.
just to get back to our point here. I I'm with you. I don't think John Cooper should have won the
No.
Adams this year then if he had the
Also,
MVP and Vezina winner.
did you look down? Did you look at the breakdown of the Hart voting?
Oh, yes. Kucherov beat McDavid by 10 votes,
By
10
10
points.
points, which was it's two first place ballot votes.
Mm.
That's it.
Uh,
Like,
it's pretty
and
close.
Kucherov was left off of two
Of course he
ballots.
was. Of course he was, and I know there were two old ass Canadian reporters or whatever because
Well, I saw.
it's the media that votes on the Heart. Just in case you
Well,
guys
so I
forgot.
saw one. I saw one of them, and it was a Colorado beat writer, and
Oh, okay.
he didn't have Kucherov, and he had McKinnon, Wedgwood, and Landeskog,
Come on. Okay.
but he voted 3, 4, 5. Like
Oh,
even
okay.
even he put McKinnon at
Oh,
third.
interesting. So he just didn't give anybody first or second.
Correct. He
Okay, I
wanted two
kind
of
of
his guys. He
okay.
wanted two of his guys to have some points.
I s- I you know what? I'll give that guy a little bit of respect. He was like, "You guys should not win, but I will give you 3, 4, 5."
Yeah.
All right. A little, I think I don't love that
I
the
don't
beat
love it,
writer
but
for the Colorado Avalanche just voted for 3 Colorado Avalanche players. I don't love that because you should be objective.
yes.
McKinnon should be there. That's not the argument, but
Yes, but he even said McKinnon wasn't number one.
hilarious that he said that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, McKinnon was the third best player this year. It like
Yeah,
Kucherov. Kucherov and McDavid are the two best players, but I'm
but
not.
I'm not gonna vote for him because fuck those guys.
Yeah.
That guy shouldn't be allowed to vote. I'm sorry, that guy shouldn't be allowed to vote. But that's really funny. Uh, yeah, congratulations to Kucherov. I think much
Absolutely.
deserved Hart.
Again, very deserved.
Because I think without him, I don't think Tampa Bay would have made the playoffs. Their defense was
No.
awful this year.
I will talk about Tampa Bay.
Okay, good. We're getting into the interesting teams. We're
Yes, we
starting to
are.
get into the interesting teams now. What you got?
All the teams are interesting.
You
Not all
got
of them.
not
Most
all
of
of them.
them.
What you got news wise? Anything?
Let me. Um.
We can talk
So
about the Darnell Nurse trade request if you want.
Yeah, Nurse requested a trade. Um.
It sounded like he gave like a 5 team because he has a no move clause too.
I think he gave like 6.
5 or 6 teams. Yeah, I know
Yep.
the only two that we know who they are for some reason are Pittsburgh and LA.
Yeah, I don't
Which
understand that, but I
well,
can
he has connections
totally
to
see.
Dubas, I think. I could see Pittsburgh doing it.
I
But
can see Pittsburgh
just
doing
because
a
if they have
reclamation
so
clause.
much fucking cap space, and honestly, they need to beef up that left side of the defense. And I think if you protected his minutes, I think Nurse could be okay. Right? I
Well,
don't
I
think he's gonna win the Norris, but
I think Dubas wants to
to
make
see
Pitt.
if like Muse
Well,
could
no,
maybe fix it.
he wants to make Pittsburgh a place where guys who are seen as washed up and are done go and thrive.
That did
Like,
happen this year, right? Because
it
nobody thought
happened
Mantha was going to
multiple
score
times.
30 goals this year. Everybody
Mantha,
was like, "Who's Parker
Vitakov,
Witherspoon?" You know, Chinakov. Yeah, Chinakov was given up for dead, and he was on pace for like 35 goals with the Penguins.
yeah.
Um, Tommy
Uh,
Novak to a certain extent too. Tommy Novak had a pretty good year. Kind of disappeared in the playoffs, but
yeah.
he was given up for dead when they traded for him, and he had a pretty solid year. So yeah, I could see Pittsburgh doing it, but Kyle Dubas is not stupid.
No,
he's
he's
not
not.
just going to take that contract for nothing.
No.
I think if that trade is to happen, the Oilers are going to have to take back like Ryan Graves and also
Yeah.
give the Penguins something else in that trade. Because like if it's just straight like a draft pick for like, a fourth round draft pick for Darnell Nurse, right? And the Penguins don't ask them
You
to
got to
retain anything, the Oilers are also going to have to give the Penguins like Isaac Howard or Matthew Savoy or something like
exactly.
that. Something that the Oilers are not going to want to give up.
No.
But you know what? Stan Bowman's pretty dumb, so he might do it.
Stan Bowman is pretty dumb.
I would love the Penguins to
Um,
get Isaac Howard or Matthew Savoy or both of them. Stan Bowman's dumb.
it looks like, based on Freeman's reporting, that there's still a gap between Tuck
At Buffalo.
and the Sabres.
It's a
And
pretty large gap from the last time I
there
saw.
has
So
I can't
I
imagine
think
he
Tuck's
doesn't
gonna
get paid.
Tuck's definitely
He's
gonna get like 10,
he
11 million in free agency.
he's
There's too many
and
teams with too much cap space to not give him a ton of money.
absolutely. And yeah, he's gonna get paid. Uh,
Yeah. There's too many
Patrick
teams with
Allvin,
$20+ million
yeah,
to not give him a
who
huge
could
contract.
use a guy like Tuck?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Patrick Allvin hired as vice president and assistant GM for the Seattle Kraken.
I mean,
I don't
I don't even
I don't know
know
what
how to rate him as a GM because Jim
I don't
Rutherford
know
was doing everything in Vancouver.
exactly.
So
I think
like
he was a great assistant GM because, like, again, but at the same time, he was an AGM for Rutherford and Pittsburgh. Like, I don't
that's what I was
know
gonna say.
how
So
to
like
rate him for what he did in Vancouver.
who's the main GM in on the
Botterill.
Kraken? Oh yeah, oh man. I don't love that
Hopefully, he learned something.
for Seattle. But
Um,
that's two guys that were the AGMs for Jim Rutherford in Pittsburgh.
exactly. So I don't.
Maybe they'll be okay because Jim Rutherford, when he was in Pittsburgh, he made some shrewd moves that won 2 cups, right? But he also
And
makes some real
he,
lunkhead moves too
after the Cups.
that kind of ended the cup windows. So, you know, so sometimes he can wheel and deal with the best of them, and other
Yep.
times it's just like, why'd we do that trade?
Right.
You know, we'll
Um,
see. I I don't know. I don't love that for Seattle. Botterill did a pretty bad job in Buffalo. Um,
yeah. Yes, he did.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll
I want
see.
Seattle to be better, but like that, I don't. That's not gonna help unless they've learned, unless they've changed their ways and learned
Unless
from
they
their
figure some
mistakes.
stuff out.
But
Yeah, no, it's been years. It's been at least five
yeah,
years.
it's been a while. So
Um. So all right, then the Devils are gauging interest in Markstrom. They're shopping him.
yeah, I think they'll be able to trade him. I don't think it'll be for a lot though, because you got
No,
to
but
remember
they
Markstrom's
just signed that
35.
extension.
Yeah, but Markstrom's also 35, and he
Yeah.
has an extension. I don't think it's too bad, but it's like what 6, 7 million, something like that.
Yeah.
I think they'll
Uh,
be able to trade him if they really want to, but I would not expect a ton in return.
I also saw today that Ottawa is gauging interest in Jordan Spence, who's an RFA.
Okay.
And what the? What are you doing?
What is this
Like
poor
this
kid?
is
What has this poor kid done that he keeps
it's
getting traded? He
it's
had a pretty
because
good
he's not.
season in Ottawa, didn't he?
He
Didn't he
had a
have a pretty
great
good
season
season?
in Ottawa, especially when people got injured. He stepped up, and the problem is he's just
Take him
not.
on the Penguins. I'll take him on the
He's
Penguins
just
in a
not
heartbeat.
6'2". I think he's like 5'10", he's
That's fine.
5'10", 6 foot. But like,
I'm all in at this point. I'm all in for the Penguins to just go all offense and fuck defenses.
like,
Let's do it.
come. What are you doing? Like,
Let's take Morgan Riley too. Spencer,
you already have. You already
I
have.
know we
Letang.
already
You
have
don't
two.
need
We already
another.
have like
You
two of
already.
Morgan Rileys. No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I know you are, but
what side does Spence play? Right side?
yes.
That's a premium in the league too
It's a
at the
premium
moment.
position,
Yeah.
but they have Zub, Shabbat, Yakimchuk.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
Yakimchuk could still use some time to develop. And
Sure.
as we
Yakimchuk's only 20 or something. He's pretty
yeah,
young.
and as we saw this year, especially on Ottawa, injuries happen.
Yeah. They happen every year to every team, pretty much.
Wouldn't you like some uh contingency plans?
Nah. Trade him.
Nah,
Trade him
but
to
like
LA could use somebody like Jordan Spence.
yeah, for CC 1 for 1.
Or Cody CC
Um,
1 for 1.
so like I just don't
I
get
don't
it
get
because
that at
again,
all. Yeah, I don't get that at all. Because what
analytics.
Spence is like what sub 25, isn't he? He's
He's
also
like
still pretty.
23.
He's still
He's an
pretty young.
RFA.
Ay, ay,
He's an
ay.
RFA this year.
What is
So
this?
they're looking at his rights.
Is
So
he
like
like a?
I don't.
Is he an asshole? Like,
It's
I don't get it. I don't get
it's
why 2 years in a
GMs just
row
not wanting size on defense, or
wanting
sorry,
size on
GMs
defense.
wanting size on defense. It's like why
Yeah.
Logan Stanley keeps getting opportunities.
Same with Goodbranson and uh, oh my God, Alexiak.
Yeah,
Same thing with those two guys. It's because they're both like 6'5" and humongous
right.
dudes, and they're okay. Like they're okay defensemen,
Yeah,
but they keep getting work because they're huge.
yep.
But they're not like fast. What's up, Ginger? Ginger barking back there.
Directly behind me. Uh,
Poor Jordan Spence. I hope he lands somewhere where he can just stay for a while. You know,
no, he's like
poor
Sean
kid.
Walker was before he ended up on the Canes.
True. Yeah, Sean Walker
Because
was
you
bouncing
even
around a lot. Yeah.
because you even don't like Sean Walker or
Well, it's
didn't
not
like
that I
Sean
don't
Walker.
like Sean Walker. He's not worth a first round draft pick, and I'm correct.
That's fair. All right.
I'm correct.
That's fair.
But somebody gave up a first round draft pick for it. I don't remember if it was the Canes, but
No,
it was somebody. I think it was Colorado.
I think it was Colorado.
Like, look, I don't have anything against him
I
as a
think you're
human
right. I think
being
you're
or
right.
a player. He's not worth a first round draft pick, and I am objectively correct. Scott Lawton was also not worth a first round draft
No,
pick,
he's
and
not.
I am objectively correct.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Because Toronto traded Scott Lawton for a third round draft pick a year later
Mhm.
because they're stupid.
Yes, they are.
Because Brad Tree Living is a dumbass. All right. Anyway.
But that's all I got news wise.
Okay.
It looks like Dan Vladar is getting extended 5 years, $5+ million by the
Yeah, I
Flyers.
think that was rumored a few weeks ago, but that can't happen until July 1st, I think.
Right. I think it became more solid today.
5 by 5 and change. That makes sense. He had a tremendous season.
Tremendous
I mean,
season.
I hate the Flyers, but like, I guess I hope that he doesn't get this big contract and then just play terrible.
And then suck. Yeah. Yeah.
But like, if I was him, I'd be like, well, I got my $30 million, so what do I care?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the Cup final because
Let's get to the Cup final because
it's
it is
over, baby. Do we want to alternate games like we did last week?
Yeah, I'll get the first game because
right.
you did. Yeah. All right.
Sounds good.
And
so coming into this game, just so to remind everybody, it was 2-1 Vegas, and
it was
everybody
Vegas.
that wasn't a Vegas fan was kind of worried that Vegas was going to win.
I don't know. That is true, but at the same time, like they weren't.
They were very close games, and Vegas had blown 2 leads. They blew a 4-0 lead and won in overtime, but they still blew a 4-0 lead
in double overtime.
In double overtime, excuse me.
But yeah, they still blew a 4-0 lead in the
That's pretty
third
bad.
period.
Yeah.
All right, game 4. We're going. We're still in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina wins 5-3 to tie the series. Logan Stankoven opens up the first period 1 minute in to make it 1-0, and then Jack Jackson Blake scores another goal 2 minutes after that to
I
make
would
it
say
2
Jackson Blake,
nothing really
another
quick.
another I'm not gonna say unsung, but like surprise hero of the playoffs,
Oh
Jackson
yeah,
Blake.
look, the entire if you could give the Conn Smythe Trophy to an entire line, it would have
Yeah,
been Stankoven and Blake Hall.
yeah. Oh my God,
Uh,
yeah. You're so right. That holy shit, that line in these playoffs.
that line was disgusting. So up 2-0 real quick, but then Mark Stone makes it 2-1. But then Jordan Stahl scores on the power play to keep his goal streak alive 4 games in a row.
Yeah,
Um, then in the second period, again, Vegas controls the second period with a William Karlsson goal and a Brett Howden goal to make it 3-3. In the third period, Jordan Stahl scores to make it 4-3. A goal that he scores while he is falling
yeah. An
down.
absolutely insane
Oh
goal.
my god, it was such a good goal.
It was beautiful.
Um, it was the he scores it because he whiffed on the first shot,
Hmm.
and the way his body was turned, he had to fall to make the backhand.
But he did it. Boy, did
Oh, he
he do
did it.
it.
And then Nikolai Ehlers hits the empty net to clinch the game, making it 5-3. Shots were 28-21. Hits were to Carolina. Hits were 38-34 to Vegas. Face-off percentage was 57-43 Carolina. Jordan Stahl had 2 goals. Carolina was 1 for 3 on the power play. Vegas was 0 for 3 on the power play. So that's your game 4.
Yes, sir.
Tying the series, making it a best of 3.
And we should point out too, Bussy started this game
Bussy
and
started
played
this
the
game.
entire game. It was 18 and
Uh,
21 in the game.
yes. Freddie Anderson did not dress.
We
Kochekov.
know why, and we'll get to it after
We'll
the
know why
series. Yeah,
now. We know
we
why
know why
now.
now.
Um,
I thought it
but
was.
Coach
I thought it was pretty
Kochekov.
suspicious that Freddie Anderson was not dressing, and they were like, "No,
Oh
he's available." I was like, "No, he's not.
no, he's not.
You're not
Well,
dressing
also
him."
again,
Brindamore, you liar.
Kochekov was the backup.
Yeah,
Which gets his name on the cup
yeah,
by just being the backup in one game during the finals. And they brought up one of Chicago Wolves goalies to be the emergency backup.
yeah. So it's
So
like
yeah,
Freddie Anderson is
Anderson's
not
he's
available.
not
You
available.
liar, Brindamore.
Remember, he got hurt in Game 3.
Yes. But yeah, Bussy came in and played the third period
3
and
periods.
the both overtimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carter Hart 23-27 in this game. I would like to point out, fourth
Yes.
straight game he gave up 4 goals or more.
Yeah, he is the first goalie to do that in the finals.
Oh, I feel so bad. All right, game 5 rolls around and we are back in Raleigh for this game. Carolina ends up winning 4-2. Dorofiev opened the scoring 6:52 into the first period on the power play. I don't know if that was his first goal of the series, but he did not. He was kind of invisible in this series. Carolina
Yeah.
was certainly. You got to give credit to Carolina. They were certainly locking him down and not letting him get.
We will. Yeah, absolutely.
Not letting him get much opportunities.
Carolina figured it out and put on defensive masterclass after.
Yes. After game 3. Sorry, Vegas. This was kind of all Carolina, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, after Game 4, where Stahl scores that goal, and then
Carolina locked it down after that. They figured him out. So Dorofiev did score to make it 1-0 in the first. Jordan Stahl, our man, keeps his streak up. Scored to make it 1-1 at 11:46 in the first, tying the game. His 5th straight game scoring in the Stanley Cup Final, which I believe is a record. 6th goal overall in the first 5 games. Svechnikov scored on the power play to make it 2-1 at 11:58 in the second period. Carolina needed that line to show up of Aho and Svechnikov and whoever else they play with. They needed those guys. Jarvis. Because those guys had kind of been neutralized by Vegas so far in the series. But Svechnikov scores on the power play to make it 2-1. Aho scores to make it 3-1 at 17:51
His
in the second
goal
period.
was beautiful.
It was.
Off the skate,
Oh
pass
my
to
God,
his
yeah.
skate where he redirected it to his stick and just roofed
And
it.
then just sniped it past Hart.
Again,
Especially
Hart didn't have a chance on that
no,
either.
no
Like
way.
it was
No
lateral
way.
movement. There were a bunch of goals where there were a handful of goals where like he led in some softies, but there were some
Sure.
goals where it's just like, no,
No,
nothing he can do about that.
I don't even think like Marty Brodeur had a chance at that goal at that save.
No,
Um, Svechnikov scored again on the power play at 11:08 into the third period to make it 4-1 Carolina. Carolina fully in control at this point. Dorofiev did make it 4-2 with his second goal of the game at 13:49 in the third, but that was it. And Carolina held
yep,
them off 4-2. They take a 3-2 series lead. Jack Eichel did have 2 assists in this game. Carter Hart, fifth straight game where he let in 4 goals or more, going 20 of 24. Ehlers had 3 assists in this game. He also took 2 pretty bad
he
delay of
did.
game penalties in this game. And after the game, he said, "I have to be better," even though he had 3 points in the game.
Right,
Respect,
absolutely.
respect.
Well, this is the game where Tortorella is just got asked the question. It's like, hey, what are
Oh
your thoughts
yes,
about like putting Aiden Hill back in
yeah.
during this game? And he said that was the dumbest question I've ever heard. Where the disrespect to
Carter
Aiden.
Hart gave up 4 goals or more in all of the games you've played so far.
Yeah, no,
I think it's a pretty. I think that's a pretty on point question.
it's an on point question, but also the disrespect to Hill and like how bad is Aiden Hill's hips?
They gotta be bad.
They gotta
They
be
gotta
bad.
be bad. Also, hey, Torts, like that was just kind of mean to say
Yeah, exactly.
about your player.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
Um.
I will say Gossip Bear did have 2 assists in this game as well, and
Okay.
Bussy was 23 of 25. Let me just finish up the stats here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vegas outshot Carolina 25-24. Carolina 59% on the faceoff to 41% for Vegas. Vegas did score on the power play, which is not something they did a lot in the finals. Went 1 for
That is
3 in this
correct.
game, but 2 for 5 went Carolina. Carolina out hit them 34-32, and Vegas outblocked them 18-12. So we're
Also,
going back to Vegas.
William Carlson leaves this game early.
Yes, that is
And
true.
it's in the
Have they
second period.
said? Yeah, I think it was in the second period, towards maybe midway through or towards the end of the second period. Have they said what happened? Because
No, his
you
arm is
texted me,
broke.
that
Um,
that you were
as
like
soon as I
they
saw that he
got
was
no
done,
chance. Yeah, you said they got no chance without William Carlson.
they got no chance because
You're
William
correct.
Carlson is and was excellent in shutting down
Aho Svechnikov,
off
right?
no yeah Aho Svechnikov and
Actually,
Jarvis.
that would make sense if
Defensively,
he got injured halfway through the second period because that's when all of those goals happened
yep.
after that.
So
And I
yeah,
gotta imagine his
it was an
wrist or arm
innocuous.
is broken. Yeah,
It was Sean Walker finishing a check.
yeah, nothing dirty about it. Pretty honestly, if you
His
watch the
arm
hit,
was just in a bad
yeah,
position.
if you watch the
Uh,
hit,
just got
kind of
caught
looks
up
like a nothing hit.
with his own
But
stick.
the way he was holding his arm, something's broken in there.
I think the way that his arm came off the wall, um, I think it's his arm. I think it's his forearm, not his wrist.
That's
But they
probably
haven't.
better. It's probably better if it's his forearm, right, than
I
his
don't know, but
wrist.
it might be a double fracture. Like I think it could be radius and ulna. Um,
Yeah, but like,
instead,
would you take that over like an articulation point, like a wrist, right? Like, I feel like
I don't
breaking a
know.
wrist, breaking an ankle is one of the worst places you can
They
break because there's
both
so
suck.
much going on in that joint.
So for the most part, when you're breaking your ankle, you're breaking your tibia or fibula. You're actually
You're just
breaking your
the
leg.
low point of it.
It's the lowest point. There's the parts that hang down from those bones that
Hmm.
stabilize your ankle. Those break off sideways. Uh, I say that because I did it.
I was gonna say, I feel
Um,
like I remember you telling me you broke your ankle before.
yeah. So like you're technically breaking your leg, and one is just more important than the other.
Yeah.
Um, your fibula is not the weight bearing one, so you could still play on like a broken fibula. It sucks, but you can. Um,
But like
the wrist,
your wrist,
the
there's
wrist,
so many tendons
there's
and
like
things
seven
happening in there.
bones
Yeah.
in there. So like, which one are you breaking? And
I'm
there's
gonna,
and
yeah.
there's partials too, like that there's like the wrist, the foot, the ankle, and the wrist are kind of the same built, like have the same bones,
Hmm.
but hand versus foot and shaped differently. So like there are a bunch of small bones in your ankles
Yeah.
that you could fuck up too.
Yeah.
So
And there's just so many tendons in both of those places, right? I mean, I
yeah,
guess that's true of just any joint. Like it's true of your knee, it's true of your shoulder, it's true of your elbows. Any break in any of those could be pretty bad, right? So
yeah,
that's kind of my point. I think it might be better if his arm is broken at the
it's
at the radius or ulna and not his
any
wrist.
any break is going to be better than a soft tissue
Yeah,
injury. That's the
yeah.
truth. Um,
So I kind of just
because they
I
heal way
fingers
faster.
crossed that's what it is, and he's fine for next season.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I saw that he got injured and he wasn't coming back, and just like that's the
yeah.
series for Vegas.
When
That's
when
done.
they announced that he was out for Game 6, I think was right when you texted me, and you were like, "They're done. There's no
It's
way
done.
they're
It's
gonna win."
over. He was their best defensive forward. And
And hey, you know what? You're
he was
correct.
shutting
So
things
let's
down.
talk about
Yep.
Game 6 because we're heading
Game
back to
six.
Vegas.
Tortorella made a nice comment that he's just like, hey, I'm not even gonna pack up my stuff for.
We should have known that they were gonna lose Game
Oh yeah.
6 when he said that.
He's like, I'm leaving my stuff in Raleigh because we're gonna be back. The Carolina PR has already said that, hey, we'll ship your stuff to you.
As
Because
they should. I mean, you're gonna say that shit. I mean, you're opening yourself out up to the other team, being like, "You want your stuff back,
because
or you want us to leave it on the curb?"
Carolina in 6,
Yes,
a 3-0 shutout.
I would say a dominant 3-0 win.
It was a dominant performance.
Most of
They were
these shots for Vegas came in like the last 10 minutes of the
well.
game.
Here's the thing: they didn't
No?
because um, Vegas was held shotless for like 17 minutes
Yeah, it was some ridiculous
between
amount. It was like between
between
the first and third
midway
period. Yeah.
midway through the second period and like kind of late third period. No shots on goal for Vegas. Um,
Absolutely insane. That
it
Carolina was just
was
like, you're never gonna take a shot again.
well. There's that, and Bussy made some
He did make some outstanding saves late in the
standing
third
saves.
period.
I don't. Well, he made the one where it bounced off the top of the goal, and then
Oh,
he
that was
caught
in the
it in the
first period,
first
I
period.
think. Yeah.
But
That one was just kind of like a good heads up play by him, I would say.
the save he made while he was sitting on his butt,
Oh,
I don't know how he did it.
that's gotta
Legitimately,
be
I have no idea.
one of the
Um,
highlights of the finals. Is like, I thought he was dead to rights. You're totally right. He was on his
he
butt.
was dead to rights.
They got the puck. The rebound went right to a Vegas player. I was like, oh, okay, well here's a goal. Nope.
Here's a goal.
Somehow
Nope.
Bussy got that puck. I don't know how he did it.
I don't know how he did it.
He made that save. I don't know if the Vegas player just shot it right into his glove,
I
but
don't know,
in
man.
either way, in either direction, he did something that he made that save. Whether that is
Yes,
making an incredible move or he somehow hypnotized the Vegas player to shoot it into his glove.
and I will say Carter Hart made some spectacular saves as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, this is the only game he didn't give up 4 goals.
He only gave up 2.
Yeah.
And one of the saves that he made was where he got caught on the forecheck and he lost the puck, but he got back into the net to make a diving save, and I thought that was incredible.
Yeah, got it. Credit where credit is due. We don't like him,
Absolutely.
but
The
he
game
made
was
some
already
great saves.
the game was 1-0 at that point, so
Yeah.
like he kept Vegas in. But Brandon Bussey makes a 22 save shutout. Taylor Hall opens the scoring 3 minutes in on a turnover, gets 1-on-0 against Carter Hart, and in a goal that I
Spares
think
it.
Hart should have had that
Yeah, yeah. Because like there wasn't any screens. It wasn't a true breakaway. There was a defenseman kind of close to Hall, but
coming, but
Hall just put it right past him. Yeah.
low glove side, like right below the glove, right above the pads. I think Hart should have had
Yeah.
that.
Maybe Aiden Hill would have got it. I don't know. Who knows? We'll never
Yeah,
know.
who knows? Hits were 39 to 32 Vegas. Faceoffs were pretty much even. Second period, Jackson Blake scores to make it 2-0, 13 minutes played, and then the third period, Nikolai Ehlers hits the empty net with a minute left in the game to ice it.
The second he scored that goal, Rod Brindamore started crying.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to see.
Each team was over 3 in the power play, but it's over. The
That's
season's
it.
done.
That's the
Carolina is
season.
your champions. They were the best team in the East. They were the second best team in the league, and they were dominant. 16 wins, 3 losses. That's it.
That's crazy. I feel like that's going overlooked. They went 16-3 in the play. They only
Yep.
lost 3 games in the playoffs, and 2
And
of
it
them were in the
was
finals.
2 of them were in the finals.
That man, what a playoffs for them. What a run. Absolutely
Uh,
deserved.
Jordan Stahl is your
Yeah.
Conn Smythe winner with his 5
5-game goal streak, 6 goals overall in the finals.
6 goals in 6 games. Also, in the entire playoffs, he was 70% on the faceoff dot, and he was dominant in puck battles,
And you
or
know it's
board
significant.
battles.
You know it's significant that he was 70% on the faceoff, which I think might be a record because Gary Bettman brought it up when
Yeah,
when
Gary
when
Bettman.
he right before he gave him the Conn Smythe.
Yeah,
70% on the faceoffs is crazy
absolutely
in the
insane.
playoffs. Like
Hmm.
just like normally that's crazy. In the
You're
playoffs
going
is
up against the
insane.
best centers, and
So,
he
I
was
mean,
up to
you
the
can make
challenge.
the argument that maybe Stan Coven should have won it, maybe Jackson Blake should have won it, because I think Jackson Blake actually ended up being the highest scorer of the playoffs, which is good for him, you know,
Yeah,
or up there, or for Carolina, maybe he was the top
for
scorer.
Carolina, but yeah,
Y-
Jackson Blake had 14 points.
Yeah, I mean, Stan
Um,
Coven had 11 or 12 goals, I believe. There's a lot of
uh,
guys that you could make the argument for. Nick Ehlers
I
had
don't
a
know.
great playoffs
Stakeoven only had 5 points, but they were
in the finals.
in I think.
Yeah, he tapered off a little bit after the first and second round, but you know what?
I think
I get
he just had massive. Um,
his goals were huge.
yeah,
Jordan
because of clutch
Stahl,
factor.
excuse me, absolutely deserves it. That is one of the best finals performances I think I've ever seen from Jordan Stahl of all people. No,
Oh yeah.
no offense to him, but it's not like he's not a huge goal scorer, but he had 6 goals in 6 games in the finals, 5 straight games he scored. He's the captain of this team.
Hmm.
My man's 37, like, and he did this. You know, he's the
Yeah.
oldest Conn Smythe winner ever, and he is also he scored a goal in the finals in the longest period between finals. He
Yep.
scored in '09 with the Penguins, and he scored in 2026 with the Hurricanes. 17 years between. It's the
The
longest period.
top 3 centers of the '09 Penguins team have won Conn Smythe.
Oh, that is also an incredible
Yeah.
record. The Penguins are the only team to, in 3 straight drafts, draft a Conn Smythe winner. And that
Yeah.
is Malkin, then Crosby, then Stahl now that he won
Yep.
a Conn Smythe.
Um.
If only he
Yeah,
had stayed on the Penguins. He wanted to
20.
play with his brother, I understand, but
Well, there's that. He wanted to be. He bet on himself. He didn't want to be a third line center. He's like,
there's
I can be
that.
more than
Yeah,
a third
there's
line
that
center.
too. I will
Um.
say, like going back, just thinking about that scenario, the Penguins offered him the exact same contract that Carolina ended up giving him. But I get it.
It
I
the
get
role
it.
was
I get
different.
it. I get it.
Um. But
Malkin could have got bumped to the wing. I'm just saying, and then Stahl could have been the second line center. It would have also worked out, I think, on the Penguins. But you know what? Hindsight's 2020. I
but
love Jordan
exactly
Stahl. I'm so happy for him.
20 years after Carolina wins their first cup, they win their second.
Yes, Rod Brindamore is weirdly like the third player ever to captain a team to the Stanley Cup final and then coach that same team to the Stanley Cup final. And
Well,
it's two other guys that you've never heard of that did it.
right. There's that, but also like the last time Carolina won, 06, Brindamore was the captain.
Yes.
And Jordan Stahl's brother Eric was a rookie.
Yep. Oh
and
yeah,
now,
that's crazy. Yeah.
And now Brindamore was the coach, and Jordan is the captain.
It's just Carolina is full of so many good stories for this cup win. Like Brindamore's story, Stahl's story, Taylor Hall gets his name on the cup after all of these years of being a very good player, but like just never having enough to get there, right?
Right. He's not the star piece. Keandre Miller getting thrown out by the Rangers, and immediately like Carolina's like, come here.
Shane Gostisbehere, right? He was given up for dead many years ago at this point because like he had great seasons on Philly, but then he kind of died off, and Philly was like, okay, we'll trade you to. I think he went to Arizona, and then bounced around.
He went to Arizona. Did he go to Colorado for a second?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Arizona to Carolina.
Arizona to Carolina at the very least, if not another team in there too. And he's a third pairing defenseman, but he gets his name on the cup. Hilariously, just Barry Kotkaniemi gets his name on the cup, which I think is a very funny outcome here. And Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake, two huge performers in these playoffs. And I'm just gonna say it right now. That Rantanen trade's looking pretty good for Carolina. Well, Rantanen didn't want to be there. Oh well.
Well, the pick that they got for the Rantanen trade is how they were able to get Miller. Like,
they got Miller out of that. They got Stankoven directly in that trade.
Yep.
I think Jackson Blake was one of those draft picks too that they got out of that.
I think so. There was a huge it worked out for Carolina.
Yeah.
Tulski made a very shrewd move. He's like, "Oh, you don't want to be here? All right.
All right, fine."
Also, Mitch Marner blocked a trade to Carolina last season.
Worked out. And they beat him in the finals.
He blocked a trade to Carolina because they had already been looking at Vegas. They'd been pre-agreed to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Toronto should have gone after Vegas for tampering. Absolutely.
It's too late now, I think.
It absolutely is. But, yeah, so...
There you go. Your 2026 Stanley Cup champions, the Carolina Hurricanes. And
well, Stahl had a quote where it's just like, yeah, we've had, like, guys jump ship, but, like, other guys have just, like, stayed. And... yeah, some guys just jump ship. I believe that in this organization. I believe in everyone in it. That was the post-game interview. So then you start immediately fans.
Who's he talking about?
Like, who's he talking about? And that I think it's such a great quote because you could be talking about anybody. You could be talking about the Vegas players because they had a bunch of guys who just jumped ship from their teams to go to Vegas. And,
there you go. We beat them. Jordan Stahl's like, I've been on this team for 16 years, something like that now.
Like, you could be talking about Gensel, Rantanen, Nietzsche. There's so many players the past couple of years.
And he was like, fuck you guys. We won the Stanley Cup.
We won the Cup.
Attaboy. I'm so happy they won. It's very deserved. Congratulations to all of them.
You have Seth Jarvis's degenerate friends coming to visit.
He got a picture of them on the ice with him celebrating.
yeah, in making confetti angels. It's an awesome picture.
Yeah.
And like you said, Jarvis is only 24, so a lot of his friends are still in college, and apparently one of his friends who's not in college, his boss is very lax with the PTO rules.
I mean, hey, that's great for that guy.
And it's great for that. So
Um, man, and honestly, we'll get to it when we do the wrap up too. But Carolina's pretty set to just roll this back next year,
yeah, they can 100% just run it back.
and not even next year, like coming years
Yeah. Well, like so it
for a
went
while.
also handing off the cup, seeing how it went from Stahl,
To
who the
Freddie
captain always
Anderson.
listed first, it went straight to Freddie Anderson.
Yeah,
Like,
I
and then
do.
Freddie Anderson went to hand it to Sebastian Aho, and Sebastian Aho's like, I'm not touching it, because Taylor Hall was standing
Yeah,
next to him.
he
He's
was
just
like,
like,
no,
no, I'm not
Taylor
taking it.
first. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just great stories all around.
So
Because
came
also,
out. Go ahead.
yeah, no, you say it.
Came out after all the celebrations and stuff. Came out today that Freddie Anderson had a knee injury, which is not actually what we thought
No,
the injury was. We
we
thought
thought
he had a
his head
concussion.
or neck.
Yeah.
Well, also like,
Or yeah, head or neck
and
injury.
what Elliot Friedman talked about is just like, hey, there's stuff to dig into. This one's I'm not digging into, which is again why he gets
Yeah. He's just
scoops
like, you know
because
what? I'm just gonna let this go.
also Freddie Anderson's one of his very good friends has just passed away, so like
Also
he's
true.
probably taking time with that.
Also
Like,
true. Yeah. So Freddie Anderson did have a knee injury, which makes sense why he was available but not dressed.
not really, no.
But not really available. He played very well in the playoffs. Was a little shaky in the finals.
But
Maybe I
also,
don't know when he got that knee
is
injury. So
right. That's a great question. Also, is someone mentioned that that's the most games Freddie Anderson has played in a long time since his blood clot
oh, true,
issue.
true.
So like it could have just been fatigue on top of that.
It could have been. It could have been. Also, the Hurricanes are the first team since the Oilers in '86 to
For
win the
that
cups
16-3
with.
record.
Well, no, to win the cup with two different starting goaltenders.
Oh, cool.
I,
Oh, 80
I think was the
the stat line.
the stat line. I think it was 86, but so that might become a thing moving forward though. A lot of teams are going 1A 1B guys where they're just like,
Yeah.
okay, that guy had a bad game, let's put in the other guy, and just roll with whoever's playing the best right now.
I think that's
I think
good.
it's a good way to go about it. Um, but yeah, I was gonna say something else.
Oh, one last thing.
There's speculation that Freddie Anderson might just retire after this year.
Oh, he should.
So,
He has one more year on his contract, and then he's a
no, I think he's a UFA
UFA.
this year. I'm pretty sure he's a UFA this year. I didn't do them this week, obviously, but I think he's a UFA this year, and I think I already saw somebody say that he might just retire. So he won the cup. Go out on the high note.
You're right. You're
you
right.
know?
He is a UFA this year. He's 36. Just be
Go
done.
out on the high note, big guy.
Oh, what I was about to say was like you could tell Jacob Slavin was pissing off Jack Eichel. Like,
yeah, Jack Eichel
and
was more or less
pissing off in the
neutralized.
sense just getting in his head
Yeah.
because like those poke checks with the stick were like he just could not do anything. It was a very much defensive masterclass from
I
Carolina.
will say shout out to either Aho or Svechnikov. They said something to Carter Hart after they scored on him and he was going back to his net.
It was
I don't know what it was he
Svechnikov.
said, but I can imagine.
It looked like no means no.
I can imagine what the chirp was when he was going back to his
no
net.
means no.
Hey, Carter Hart, no means no, and I'm gonna cherish those pictures of you crying, losing that game, for a while, because you're a scumbag.
Ugh.
Anyway, congratulations to the Cup winners. Well deserved. Very happy for them.
Absolutely.
Let's
and
move.
again,
Mhm.
no, real quick.
Yeah.
Vegas needs pain. They need pain. You
They
can't. Do. You've been to 3 finals. in
In a
9 years.
9-year existence, yeah.
And honestly, it seems like it's good luck for the cup to be in Vegas because every single time the cup has been lifted there.
Interesting.
Washington lifted it, Vegas lifted it, Carolina lifted it in Vegas.
Well, that's an interesting. It just reminds me
I
of.
think.
So the Penguins have won 5 cups in their history, right? Every one of them, they have clinched on the road. They've never clinched the series in Pittsburgh, ever. The finals in Pittsburgh,
Like
which I
I,
think is funny.
it was, it was, it was funny. Not funny, but like Brendan Moore was talking about it and talking about the team. It's just like there were some people who were hoping for Game 7 just to extend
Sure, yeah, it's
the
been a
playoff
very
season a
fun
little bit
series.
longer.
Yeah.
And when the Canes won it in '06, they had a chance to win it in 5 games
Mm.
and win it at home at 6. But they lost Game 5, so it's like, all right, we'll win it at home in 6, and then they lost Game 6. So it took.
Mm.
They're just like, win it now. Win like
We have to
he
win.
was just like, I don't care if it's in Carolina or not.
We gotta
Winning that
win.
last game,
Yep.
the hardest part. Win it now.
Because going to a Game 7, who knows what the hell's gonna happen, right?
Who knows what's gonna happen?
All right. Let's move on to our wrap ups. Um, yeah, I don't know why I said. Let's move on to our wrap ups. Congrats to the Hurricanes. Love it that they won.
Yeah.
I'll kick things off with our wrap ups, and we're gonna do the Minnesota Wild. The Wild went 46-24-12 this season, 104 points, 7th overall in the standings for the entire league.
Mm-hmm.
Their power
Oh,
play.
I was wrong. Vegas did not lift the cup in Vegas. They lifted it in Florida.
You
It was
lied.
Vegas in 5.
You
Vegas in 5.
lied. Minnesota's power play was 26.1 normally, so that was 3rd overall. And their adjusted was 24.5, which was also 3rd. So really good power play this year. Their penalty kill, not quite as good, 79.2% overall, which is 16th in the league. So not terrible, but not great. Adjusted, 82.6, which is 13th, so that's better. But still, not super good.
Still middle of the road.
Yeah, still middle of the road. Goals for, 272, which is tied for 11th. Goals against, 240, which is tied for 5th. And then their goal differential is plus 32, which is tied for 6th. I just thought it was very interesting that all of them were tied with another team for those 11th, 5th, and 6th. So pretty good defensively, right? Pretty good offensively. Really good goal differential,
Yes,
Nothing to really complain about there. Their projected cap space is only $9.42 million, which makes them, I believe, one of 3 teams that have under $10 million in cap, and they are the 3rd lowest amount of cap space heading into the offseason.
That's not good.
9.42. And this is after they re-signed McCarron.
Right.
So their UFAs. So you got 9.42 million in cap space. Listen to this list of UFAs: Foligno, Johansson, Zuccarello, Fabry, Tarasenko, Bogosian, and Petrie. That's 7 free agents, UFAs. 7 UFAs.
I can think of. I hear 2 off the top of my head. That's all right. Bye bye. But
I would say it's more than 2. My point was going to be.
I heard Petrie and Bogosian. It's just like, all right, bye.
My point was going to be, all of these guys. Who do you think the youngest player of those guys is, and how old do you think they are?
I mean, the youngest player might be Johansson, who's like 36.
Wrong. It's Robbie Fabry, who is 30, which is younger than I thought he was.
Okay. Yeah.
All the rest of them are 34 or higher.
Okay, yeah.
Including like Zuccarello, Petrie.
He's 38.
Both of those guys are 38. Somebody else was also 38. So I think it was Foligno. So that you got all of these free agents are all elder statesmen.
Yeah.
5 of the 7 of them did not have good seasons. The only two that I would say are even worth considering bringing back are
Or Mojo and
Tarasenko
Zuccarello.
and Zuccarello. Tarasenko had 23 goals, 24 assists. Zuccarello 15 goals, 39 assists. Really good seasons for Zuccarello.
Um.
Johansson, I believe, has already signed to play in Europe next year, so he's gone.
Oh, he did.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
But he did have a good playoff.
He played
That's
fine.
why.
I nothing
Yeah.
against Mojo, but like I'm almost 100% certain that he signed in Europe already. So he's like soft
Gotcha.
retiring, right? A lot of
Oh, buddy.
European players do this, right? Where they will go back to Europe for a year or two so they can still play in their like home country league for a couple of years and then they retire, right? I think that's
Our
probably.
childhoods are retiring. It's rough.
No, don't remind me. I remember when Jordan Stahl was a rookie, and
I
he
know. Like,
is the oldest player to win a Conn Smythe. I remember when the Penguins drafted him. Whew. See, yes, all of the guys from our childhood are
and like our high
leaving.
school years.
Yeah, are retiring
Um.
out of the league. I could see Petrie retiring. I could see Zuccarello retiring. I could see Foligno retiring. Tarasenko, I think, is only 34, so I think he'll probably sign somewhere.
Yeah.
Bogosian, I could see retiring. Fabry was a vet min deal, but he barely played. Petrie barely played. I think
Mhm.
I was looking at it before. I think those two guys both played less than 20 games. Petrie, I think, only played like 6 games for the Wild.
Well, yeah, because he
He came
wasn't.
over in
You
the
couldn't
trade
ice him.
deadline.
You
Yeah,
couldn't ice him
he
because
came
he was
over.
bad.
Yeah, he came over in the trade deadline, and he just like I think Petrie should just retire. He's not
Oh yeah.
he's just not there physically anymore. So all of these guys, if you let them, the only one that might hurt is Tarasenko and Zuccarello
Yeah.
because they
Absolutely.
had good seasons, but both of them are older at this point. As far as RFAs goes, you got Bobby Brink and Damon Hunt, who I think both of those you could bring back pretty cheaply.
Yeah. I don't know. They're both arbitration eligible.
I
You
can't
can still
imagine
bring
that
it back.
arbitration is high though.
No, it's not. As soon as I said it.
So
Bobby Brink just has a great name, and I think that
Bobby
should be
Brink
worth
does have a great name.
more.
I could see them bringing Tarasenko back, but he's gonna have to get a little bit of a pay bump from this season because I believe he was making 4.75 and he had 23 goals, and I think that's gonna be a. I think 20 goal scorers are gonna start getting paid like way more soon
Yeah,
enough this year. They're
we're
gonna
gonna be
start getting
seeing some
paid way
sticker
more.
shocks.
So I think Tarasenko might need like 6 million to bring him back. You know,
Mm,
unless he really likes playing in Minnesota, that could be a factor. Kaprizov's there. You know, Zuccarello, I have no idea. He might be cheap to
right.
bring
Like,
back, but he might also just straight up retire or do what Johansson's doing and just go play in Europe.
well, Zuccarello still had a good season.
Yeah, 54 points at 38. I mean, not everybody is Sidney Crosby out here being a point per game player at 38, 39 years old, right?
Yeah.
38-year-old players getting 54 points, I think, is like an accomplishment, to say the least.
Right.
As far as draft picks go, they got no first, no second, their own third, their own fourth, their own and San Jose's fifth, and their own sixth round pick. Minnesota is a popular pick for like literally any center that is available via trade.
Yeah.
So your Larkins, your Trocheks, I think has been
McTavish.
McTavish, excuse me, has been linked to
Thrown that way.
Minnesota as well.
Yeah.
Any center that is worth anything is linked to Minnesota because their number one center is Joel Eriksson Ek, right?
Hmm.
Who's a good center. Maybe not an elite number one center, but a number one center.
Yep. He's great at killing.
But
He's a
past
great
that,
defensive center.
they got Hartman
No,
and McCarron and Urov, I think, are on their depth charts at center. That ain't good
oof,
enough for the playoffs. They
no.
need a
Which
Dylan
they
Larkin
which
or a Vinny
we saw.
Trocheck. They really should have pulled the trigger on whatever that Vinny Trocheck trade was that they had on
Yeah,
the
they
table.
should
They
have.
should have.
I really hope Guerin does not win the GM of the Year award because
I
he
don't think
does
he
not.
should
He
because
should. He
he
shouldn't.
should have done that trade to get Trocheck. Now, would they win the cup with that trade? I don't think so.
I don't know,
Not
but like
necessarily, but they might have been able to
me,
beat. Well, I don't know
Colorado
because Joel Eriksson Ek was injured, right?
and Brodeen was
And
injured.
Brodeen was injured. So, but it would have given them a better chance, right? If they
Yeah,
had a Vinny
it's not.
Trocheck in that
It's not
situation.
Colorado in 5.
I would say Vinny Trocheck's not necessarily a number one center either. He's a pretty good second line center, but I don't know. They got to figure out that center position. They got to get a Vinny Trocheck. They got to get a Dylan Larkin. They got to get somebody of that ilk
I
to come in to
so
play
much.
center
Excuse
there.
me.
I don't think Mason McTavish is going to do it. You know,
No, but like they also don't have a third line center, so
true.
who's to say?
I mean, Urov is pretty young, so maybe he takes a step forward next year. They got first and fourth line figured out in Eriksson Ek and McCarron.
Yeah.
Second and third line, they got to figure out at center. They got a center problem in Minnesota. That's I
Yep.
would say that's their only problem, right? They got the defense, they got the goaltending, they got the wingers. They need centers.
They need centers, but they only have
But what are they going to give
9.5
up?
to work with.
Yeah, they only have sub 9.5 to work with here. So if they pick up a Dylan Larkin, that's most of that cap, right? So you're going to have to trade somebody else off, and I could see that be Gustafson, right? Because he's
Yeah.
making I think about 7 million. Oh, excuse me, 7 million a year. But then you're fully trusting Wallstead, who had a
Yeah.
fantastic season, but he's still young. I don't know. They're in a tough spot. They're in a tough
They're in a
spot.
real tough
They're
spot.
in a tough spot. I can see. I think they're gonna figure out a trade to get one of those big centers that are available.
They got to.
To
Otherwise,
are,
they are screwed.
am I gonna predict what that trade's gonna look like? No, I don't know. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I really don't. All right,
Uh,
who you got
yeah.
next?
I mean, at least they're done with the Parise and Suter buyouts for the most part.
For the
It's all
most part, I think it's only 1.6 ish million
it is.
for the two of
Well,
them, counting against the cap for a couple more years, but that's negligible at this
right.
point. I just
All right. Who I got next?
Yeah.
Yes. At least it's not 14. But what I got next is another team where what are they gonna do? Is the Edmonton Oilers
Yeah, they're also in a position where
because
I don't know how they fix this,
I don't know how they fix this. They got bounced in the first round. That's why we're talking about them now
Yeah.
because they were second in the division, but they were 41, 30, and 11, 93 points, second in the division. Like I just said, bounced in the first. The power play was 30.6, which is first. Yeah, 30.6% on the power play.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Their adjusted power play was 27.5%, which is also first.
Okay.
Now the penalty kill was 77.8%, which is 20th in the league, and adjusted was 80.5, which is still 20th in the league. Your goals
It's not
for,
great.
yeah, your goals for were 282, which is 7th in the league, and your goals against were 269, which is 25th in the league.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, your defense is bad.
Defense and your goaltending didn't help. But I think
No.
the biggest problem, as we've stated with Edmonton, is that defense. That defense
Yeah.
is the biggest problem.
It gives up too many rush chances.
Yeah.
And breakaways are going to kill any goalie.
You traded for Tristan Jarry. Like, that trade has got to be the worst one of the year, I think, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Definitely
it's not
up there.
like, it's not so awful that it's going to kill them forever, but like, You gave up Stuart Skinner, you gave up Bray Kulak, and a second round draft pick for that.
Yeah.
Uh,
And you bought out Jack Campbell, who you were
yeah,
paying 2.6 million this coming year, and then 3 more years of 1.5.
the Stan Bowman experience.
Yep. All right. Their cap is 14 and a half.
Okay, so they have a little bit of wiggle room there.
They got a little bit of wiggle room. They only have two RFAs. They are Colton Dock, 23-year-old center,
Mm.
who played 61 games this year for 5 goals, 8 assists, and then
Okay.
what's his first name? Spencer Stasny.
Oh yeah,
Statsny.
yeah.
Um, 26-year-old left defenseman. He's arbitration eligible. 66 games played, 2 goals, 8 assists, 10 points. Both guys qualifying offers are sub 1 million, but
Yeah.
Statsny is arbitration eligible.
I think that both those
Um,
guys will probably be back for fairly cheap.
Absolutely. All right. Now, here's where trading Darnell Nurse is going to free up some space. If you don't
Yes.
have to retain everything, like
That,
anything,
but that is also gonna not only limit where you
it's going
can
to
send
cost
him,
something.
it's gonna cost you if you don't retain anything, or
Yeah,
take back a terrible contract in return.
that's true. Because their UFA class is a different story. You have 8 UFAs.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Uh, it's a lot for 14.5 million.
Yeah.
Now, some of them I can see not commanding that much, but
But
you're trying
like
to
that's
you
part of the problem though, right? Is that like these guys are
yeah,
not really worth that much and they're your depth and your depth
they're
is
your depth,
terrible.
and you have 1 year of McDavid.
That's it.
Adam Hen- Adam Henrique, 36-year-old center. He's coming off a 2x3, 65 games played, 3 goals, 12 assists.
Okay.
Curtis Lazar, 31-year-old center, 1 year vet min, 45 games played, 4 goals, 2 assists. Connor Dickinson, 30-year-old center, came over in a trade,
Jason
2 years.
Dickinson.
Thank you. There's so many Connors, I just
Yeah, there
figured.
are a lot of
Um,
Connors in hockey.
well, there are a lot of Connors on the Oilers.
Mm.
Uh, Jason Dickinson, 30-year-old center, traded this from Chicago this year. Is coming off a 2.2 year, $4.25 million deal. He played 64 games this year, 7 goals, 10 assists. Kasperi Kapanen, 29-year-old right winger, 1.1 year, $1.3 million deal, 41 games played, 8 goals, 9 assists. Jack Roslovic, 29-year-old center, coming off a 1 year, 1.5, 69 games played, 21 goals, 15 assists. Max
It's a good
Jones,
season by Roslovic.
yeah. Um, Max Jones, 28-year-old winger, coming off a 2 year, $1 million deal, 21 games played, 3 goals, 2 assists. Then you have Connor Murphy. That's where I got confused.
Gotcha.
33-year-old right defenseman, coming off a 4.4 million deal, 80 games played, 5 goals, 12 assists. And then Connor Ingram, the goalie, coming off a 3 year, $1.95 million deal, 32 games played, 2.6 goals against average, 899 save percentage. So,
Okay. And also, in your defense, I believe Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson came in the same trade from
they
Chicago.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Um, you're missing a goalie because right now your only goalie is Tristan Jarry. Uh,
Yeah.
then Murphy played well in the playoffs, I believe, and Dickinson played well in the playoffs.
Murphy and Dickinson, I think, might be worth it to bring back just because of their defensive play.
That's true, but they are 30 and 33 respectively
That's
for
also totally fair.
Dickinson and Murphy.
That's also totally
Like
fair.
you are trying to you are it's a year more, a step slower.
Yeah.
Like
I don't like. I don't think they can bring back Roslovic. He scored 20 goals and he's a center. I think
yeah,
he's gonna get paid. I could see him getting like $5 million in free
right. He's gonna
agency.
get more.
Like
He's gonna get
honestly,
more than 1.5.
yeah, I could honestly see him getting like $5 million.
that was a prove it deal, and he proved it.
And he proved
Like,
it. Yeah, that 21 goals, that's enough to get him a sizable contracted free agency.
absolutely. So I don't know what they're gonna do to fill out this chart.
Well, I
Depth
think they
chart. I mean, you
they
can bring back Kapanen,
yeah.
um,
I think you could bring back
Henry.
Dickinson if Dickinson's price point was low enough and it wasn't for a ton of years. I think you bring him back like no problem.
Yeah, Lazar got hurt. It sucks, but like he spent a
Yeah.
lot of time injured. So I don't know what
Well, they got to get rid of Nurse. They got to at least get rid of
they got to get rid of
most of his
Nurse.
cap hit to do anything. And he already
Yeah,
requested a trade, so he doesn't
he
want to be there
requested
either.
trade. Here's the thing. I know they're not going to do this, and I know that they don't want to do this. Evan Bouchard
Mm,
has no protections this year.
I
He's 26-year-old.
yeah.
He's 26, 3 years, 10.5 million, no protections this year. You could, and then 2 years, no move after that. You could jumpstart a rebuild
You could
immediately.
attempt to I don't even think it would have to be a rebuild. You could even like turn him
That's a retool. Like you could
you
get
you could turn him into
parts
some roster players pretty easily. I think one or two roster players plus other stuff, I would think. Because
because
he
again, he's
had 90
also a
points this
right
year. He's a right
90,
defenseman.
95 points.
95 points. So yeah,
He had 95 points. He's a right shot defenseman.
I don't know who you would trade him to necessarily, but you could turn him into something, certainly.
They
I
won't. I
don't.
know they
They're
won't.
not gonna do it though. I really.
They're
You
not
could
going
also
to do
turn
it.
McDavid into quite a lot too, but they're not gonna do that either. And
Yeah, they're not going
Draisaitl.
to do that.
But
Real quick before I finish up with this
yeah,
team, your top players are, of course, McDavid.
of course.
82 games played, 48 goals, 90 points, 130. Sorry, 90 assists, 138 points.
And you're a Ted Lindsay winner. Connor
Yes,
McDavid.
your Lindsay winner. Leon Draisaitl, 35 goals, 62 assists,
Damn.
97 points in 65 games.
Yeah, I was gonna say he missed a huge chunk of time too.
God
60
damn.
game. How many games? 60 games? 69?
65.
65 games. He had 97 points.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
that's amazing.
That is what a year for him.
If he stays healthy, that's your like Hart and Lindsay winner.
Probably. Hold on,
God
I'm gonna do some math.
like, damn. And then third place is Evan Bouchard, 82 games played, 21 goals, 74 assists for 95 points. Like, but again,
Yeah,
Bouchard puts up points.
if Draisaitl
His
played the entire year, he would have had 122 points.
Yeah, like,
Jesus.
uh,
I didn't realize he had that. I guess he gets overshadowed by McDavid sometimes, right?
he does.
Where you don't realize how good of a season he had as well.
I feel like I think 122 points is still underselling it. I know you're just doing like
Yeah, I was just doing like
based on
math. Yeah, I was just doing math.
based on the amount of the percentage of the season he played,
Yeah.
and then how many points he scored. But like, I could see both of these guys at 140 points.
Probably. Yeah, that's
so
true.
like,
That's discounting that he wasn't there for McDavid for 17 games out of the season.
yeah, and again, McDavid had 138, so basically 140
Yeah.
points. But like, I could see
McDavid could have been pushing
Draisaitl
150. Draisaitl could have been pushing 130, 140. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Whew, Jesus Christ, those two.
absolutely.
It's so sad that they're never going to win a cup together in Edmonton.
Yeah, honestly.
So sorry. It's not their fault. It is not the two of them's fault. It is management's fault.
Management.
All right. Let us move on to the Philadelphia Flyers, who are interesting for an opposite reason to the two teams we just talked about in the Oilers and the Wild. They went 43, 27, and 12, 98 points, good for 11th overall in the standings. Their power play, 16.1%. That is dead last in the league.
That
It's
is so bad.
adjusted 12.2. Still dead last in the league. Really, really bad power play. Their penalty kill,
Yeah.
77.1. Also not great. Tied for
No.
22nd.
No.
Adjusted 80% flat, which is just 22nd, not tied with anybody. Goals for, 250. That's 20th in the league. Goals against, 243. That's ninth in the league. Goal
Yeah, that's why
differential,
they're in the playoffs.
that would be why they were in the playoffs. Their goal differential is +7, which is 15th overall in the league. So they played, once Rick Taka got there, a pretty good defensive game this year.
Yeah.
They didn't score a lot, but they didn't let you score a lot either.
I would say it was an extension of the Tortorella system because
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
the power play was bad under Tortorella too, and their penalty kill was
man, that's a
more
bad power play.
dangerous. Their penalty kill was more dangerous than their power play under
That's true.
Tortorella.
That's
So
true.
kind of the same.
They did love to score shorthanded goals, but they got to do something to figure out that power play. Good lord.
I mean,
16% for the
they
entire
don't
season.
necessarily have the roster per se, but like also at the same
Uh,
time,
if you use Mishakov correctly, he could be a good gunner on the power
I was
play.
about to say like Tocchet is they play Tocchet and I mean Tortorella is more versatile as a coach,
True.
which we saw in Vegas, because Vegas wasn't not putting up points or goals. But Tocchet's a defensive low event coach.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to score, but we're not going to score, but they're going to score less type of a coach.
True. That
Um,
is how they made it to the playoffs. Uh, but you at least get that power play to middling, right? Get it to like
yeah,
15, 16. You'll be doing
I just
better.
think
You'll
they're
be winning more games.
I just think they're boring to
They are a
watch.
boring team. They're a very boring team. If I
I think
remember
I think
correctly,
Tocchet is a like
he's a boring
Tocchet's
coach.
systems are
It
boring.
works, but it's boring.
Um,
It works
it works
kinda.
sometimes.
It works kinda,
It works for a year,
and then
and
it
then let's see
doesn't.
what they do next year. Because
True.
Vancouver example.
True.
Um,
So I believe their top point scorer, if I remember correctly, was Konechny, who had
mhm.
68 points, which that's real low for your top goal scorer for a team that made the playoffs. Like, come on.
Apparently not.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Apparently not.
But let's get on to what makes them interesting is their cap space, which is $37.5 million going into next year, which is the fifth most of anybody heading into the offseason.
How many guys do they got to resign, Bert?
Well, they have five UFAs in
Okay.
Garrett Wilson, Luke Glendening, Grunstrom, Abels, and Julison. Meh,
Yeah.
nah. I don't.
Yeah.
Do you bring any of those guys back? Probably not. Like
Possibly if
maybe
they fit the system,
Glendening, maybe
if the
if they fit the
culture's good.
system, yeah. But their RFAs are where it becomes not an issue, but a bigger problem
They're
because
not gonna give. They're not gonna give Michikov a bunch of money.
Mishikov's not an RFA this year.
Oh, that's next year.
That's next year. Trevor
Gotcha. All
Zegras
right.
is an RFA this year, though,
That's what it
and
is.
he is your second highest goal scorer with 26
Yeah.
goals, 41 assists. He basically had his best season of his entire career on the Flyers.
That is true.
I don't think like he's not going to command like $10 million. I don't think, right? But
No,
I
but
think like $7 or $8 million is what he's gonna get.
yeah,
Right?
he's 25 years old. What's his minimum qualifying offer is 5.75.
Yeah. So
That's the start
that's the
before our
start. Yeah.
before arbitration.
So I think he's gonna say, "Hey, I was your second leading scorer on this team. You have a ton of cap space. Give me $8 million." I think would
Yeah, I think
I think that
he
would make sense for I don't know 4 or 5 years, something like that. I think that makes sense. I think that's a contract I would sign for Zegras. He obviously fit into this lineup pretty well
Yep.
this
He
year,
was money in the shootouts, which is why
which
another
is why
reason
they
why
made
they
the
made the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Yeah. But 26 goals, 41 assists, that's nothing to sniff at.
No, not at all.
But you know what? He's not their only RFA. Grebenkin is also an RFA. Not
Hmm.
one of the bigger ones. Andre, who is a defenseman, not one of the bigger ones. Sam
No.
Urson, he could get a raise. He played okay this
Yeah,
year.
he did play okay.
Backup role though. I think moving forward, Vladar is definitely your
Yeah.
starting goaltender. But
And
the other
apparently
one
they've already committed $5 million to him. So
seems like it, yeah. And then finally, the other RFA is Jamie Drysdale, who had 8 goals, 24 assists, but he was pretty solid defensively too.
he's solid defensively, but he's also has injury problems. So like,
True, that might bring his price down a little bit, but he
my
was only making
price.
2.5 this past year, I
Oh
think.
yeah, he could get 6.
So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think like
Uh,
6 for him. So
yeah,
between
he
him
could
and
easily get
Zegras,
6.
I'm just gonna make a prediction:
Who
8 for
are best
Zegras.
friends?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a prediction: 8 for Zegras, 6 for Drysdale. So that's 14 million off of that cap space. Still a lot of cap to go,
And then
right?
subtract 5.5 from that for Vladar,
Well, that doesn't
just to
count for
guess.
next year. That counts for the year after the next year.
Oh, you're right. He still has one more year.
Yeah, he still has one more
Um,
year at whatever his contract is now, which I
yeah,
believe is pretty cheap
it's super cheap. I just
compared
looked
to
at it.
how he played this
I
year.
just looked at it. It was stupid cheap.
Urson,
Uh,
I think you could get back under contract for like 2 at
yeah,
most. Grebenkin and Andre, I don't know, a million apiece, something like that.
yep.
Million, 2 million apiece, something like that. So that let's just say after all of that, they got 20 million more dollars to work with in the offseason. They can add easy, easy peasy add. And
Easy
Philly
peasy.
is also the team I have seen linked
Philly's
to.
not far from Tuck. He wants to stay kind of close to
Yeah.
family.
Well, there's that, and there's also like I've seen them linked to basically every single player that is available via trade.
Oh yeah,
McTavish. I've seen people out there being like, "Oh, maybe Dylan Larkin to the Flyers makes sense if he agrees to it."
yeah.
Uh, Trocheck could make some kind of sense there too. They need offense. That's
They
what
do.
they need. So maybe an Alex Tuck would make sense to go there, even though he
Well,
kind of
also like
died in the
if
playoffs. But
well, he only died in the playoffs against Montreal. He killed it
mm,
against Boston. Um,
you're right.
so he scored. He loves scoring shorthanded goals.
He might fit in really well
He might
to
fit
that.
in
Yeah.
real well. He kills penalties and he's the
I
threat
feel
shorthanded.
like I saw some talking head linking Robertson to the Flyers in some kind of trade. That's going to be an enormous trade for that
It's got to
for
be an
that to
enormous
happen.
trade, and I don't know who they got to give, who they'd
Well,
want to
I
give
keep
up.
seeing them like in almost any trade. It's like Mishkov and other stuff for this
Yeah,
star player. I don't know you give up on Mishkov so quickly.
I wouldn't.
He had a 20-goal, 50-point season, I think, something like that. Um, you just gotta put him in better situations to score.
Well,
Talk
there's
it.
that, and also we don't know any
We don't know what else
locker
is
room.
going on.
We
Yeah,
don't
we
know
don't know what else is
personality.
going on there.
Like we don't know if he thinks he is.
The
We don't know if
second
he has an
coming.
ego problem.
Yeah,
Like, but at
he
the
he
same
might very well.
time, he has also straight up said that he thinks dump and chase hockey is stupid, and
Maybe
I
he just
agree with
doesn't
that.
fit in that role, right?
Right? Like
Maybe you turn him into McTavish, right?
because um, it might just be the fact that he's willing to speak his mind, and that's why he's
That
in the
could be it
coach's
too.
doghouse.
Yeah, that could
Like
be it
that's
too.
like it. He could not have. It's not necessarily an ego problem. It's just he doesn't
He's
stand
gonna
for
stand up
bullcrap.
for himself, right?
Yeah, like, and what he said about it was a Russian interview. He's like, I think dump and chase is stupid. Why, if you
I kind of,
have
I'll
possession,
be totally
why
honest.
give it up?
I'll be totally honest. I kind of think Dump and Chase is stupid too.
Sometimes
If
it
you got
works.
the players,
Sometimes it
if
doesn't.
you got the players to not play Dump and Chase, don't play Dump and
Why are you
Chase.
playing dump and chase?
Yeah,
Agreed. I brought this up in the Canada Finland semifinal during the Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
where Suzuki was playing bad, quote unquote, playing
Quote
bad.
unquote bad, yeah.
He had a chance to dump it and go for a shift because Suzuki was the one who scored the tying goal for Canada against
Yeah, but
Finland.
he said, "Fuck it, I'm not doing that," and then
I'm
he
not
ended up
dumping it.
scoring. Yeah,
I'm not dumping it. I have the line. He took the line, and then the puck battle on the boards goes out, and he ends up getting the tip in. But the only reason there was a zone entry was Suzuki. You could see him consciously make the decision
yeah.
not to dump it
To be like, "Nah,
and
I'm not doing that."
took possession in.
Yeah.
So like, and Tocchet was on Canada's bench. It's an assistant
Go
coach.
figure.
So
Go figure. So I don't know. Maybe a change of scenery will do everybody well in the
maybe
Mishkov situation. But it's so weird because you got to remember that Mishkov was
he
like in his
forced his way
draft,
onto
he forced his
Philadelphia.
way onto Philly, and it's just like at this point, you, if you're him, you got to be like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I could have gone to one of these other teams. I don't know. I don't remember who was in front of Philly in that draft, but
Uh,
uh,
he was fifth.
he was seventh, I
He
think.
went
I
fifth.
think he was seventh in that draft. Anyway, it wasn't like the third pick. It was a lower. It was still in the top 10, but it was a lower pick. I don't know. There's other teams he could have gone to maybe in that draft, but
I think that was that the draft where Shane Wright went number one,
well,
or sorry,
Shane
Shane
Wright
Wright
went
went
number 4
3.
or 3. Yeah,
And it was Slavkovsky that went number
Slavkovsky went
one.
number 1. I think was that draft?
Um,
Maybe it was
it
that
was
draft.
2023 draft. It was Bedard. Sorry, it was
Oh, it's
Bedard.
Bedard. Okay, yeah. Well,
It
he
was
wasn't going to beat up a dart, obviously,
it
but
was it was Bedard. Carlson. No, that doesn't make sense.
yeah.
No, it was Bedard, Carlson, Fantilli.
Mm-hmm.
But those guys are up for RFAs right now. That's what I was. That's why I figured
Oh, maybe Mishkov was delayed a year coming over,
maybe
possibly.
you're right. Michikov was seventh.
Yeah, I don't know why I remember that. I remember weird shit like that in hockey, where I'm like, I
Absolutely.
remember that he was seventh for some reason. That just sticks in my brain. But
Like
I don't know.
I
I mean, you could use him. He's a blue chip piece to use in a trade, right?
absolutely.
Like you use him, you could probably do one for one him from McTavish, right?
Hmm.
And let's just say in a world where Dylan Larkin is being reasonable, you could probably center a package around Mishkov for Dylan Larkin. I don't think it would make a lot of sense because Detroit really needs to get a center back in that trade, but you could, right? It's a package that could be made.
Yeah,
Or in a world where the Rangers and Flyers aren't in the same division, you could center a package around him for Vinny Trocheck.
absolutely.
I think
And
I think they need center depth too, because they got Zagras, but past that, Couturier is there, but Couturier is aging at this point.
yep. I'm
Um,
also a dummy who forgot that Michikov played one more year in the KHL. Like
well, it's not a dummy thing. I don't think I
right,
remember
but
that
like
either. I'm just guessing.
no, I looked it up. He continued like that was why it's one of the reasons why he dropped so far.
Right, because
Um,
he said he was going to play that year. You never know what's going on with those Russian young guys too, because like the KHL is like tied to the Russian
contracts. Yeah,
government too. So like it's weird when eh, sometimes they just won't let guys leave, and it's fucked up, you know.
yeah.
Um, it's understandable to a certain extent because they want those guys to stay in Russia and the KHL, but like I remember back in the day, Evgeny Malkin basically had to hide from his
Oh,
KHL team when
he
they were in
did.
Sweden, and then like skip town essentially to get to Pittsburgh.
But the NCAA right now is the issue that is
That's
doing the
also
thing
yeah.
that the KHL that they used to think the KHL was the problem
Well,
for.
the NCAA now has the NIL money,
Hmm.
so they're allowed to give players money, which I think is totally fair
Yeah,
because the NCAA and all of the teams in the NCAA make
profit off their
billions
likeness.
of
Yeah,
dollars from these kids. You should give them money, right? I
yeah,
think that's totally reasonable for that to happen. But
agreed.
you're seeing a lot of players, like, for instance, this year, Gavin McKenna went to the NCAA. You're seeing all these Canadian players jump ship from the CHL and go to the NCAA because they can make money
Yeah.
in the
Hmm.
NCAA. And I think we're just on a slope at this point that probably eventually the CHL is going to start paying players too, which
Yeah,
is probably for the best, right?
it's probably for the best.
You're making money on all these kids' backs. You should give them something. I'm
Yeah,
not saying it's millions of dollars. The NCAA, some of the players in the NCAA are getting shitloads of money,
it's gonna that bubble's gonna
which
pop.
that it has to pop because like players are transferring after one season. We don't need to go into the
Hmm.
NCAA, but like they need to put some rules in that like maybe you can transfer one time in your collegiate
Yeah,
career because there's guys that play like 1 year at Ohio State and make $5 million, and then they transfer to Alabama and make $7 million, and then they transfer
right.
to USC and make $10 million, and then they go to the NFL. It's
Yep.
like something has to be done here. That
Yeah.
we can't be doing this every single year. Like you get one transfer and that's it. You transfer from
Yeah.
Akron to Ohio State. That's it. That's all you can do. Something like that. But we don't need to digress on the NCAA. Getting back to Philly, the draft picks they got their own first round draft pick, which is 21st overall. They have their own second, their own third, no fourth, no fifth, their own sixth, and their own seventh. So not a ton of draft picks for Philly, but I could see them being big trade
I could see them.
merchants
Yeah,
this year.
absolutely.
That 21st pick, I wouldn't be shocked if it's
If they move it.
out there for a trade to bolster their offense. I maybe if Rick Tocchet wants to have offense next year. We'll
Yeah.
see. You're totally right that Tocchet, his teams look good for 1 year, and then the next year they regress badly. That happened in
Just
Vancouver.
because
I think that happened in Arizona too when he was the head
it's a
coach.
hard system to play. Like,
It's a hard system to keep up. Now, I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen to the Flyers next year, but history shows with Tocchet that has happened both times that he's been
it's
a head
happened a
coach
couple
so
times.
far.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll
We'll
see what they
see.
add in the offseason. They're ripe to add. They could be in on Tuck. They could be in on any of the big trades. I could see it happening.
Absolutely.
So
Let's talk about another team that has a bunch of freaking cap space.
ah,
They're interesting for the exact same reasons that Philadelphia is interesting, and
oh,
that is the Anaheim Ducks.
that's cool that we basically did
Nope.
the same
Never
thing.
mind. I
No.
got to do the Atlantic. Anaheim
Oh,
Ducks is next week.
you're right. You're so right.
Um,
What, we got the Bruins, or did we
no, we
do the
did the
Bruins
Bruins.
last week?
We have the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Got it. Okay.
Not as
Ducks
interesting.
next week. Preview for next week.
Ducks
Ducks.
next week. Same interest as Philadelphia. Tampa Bay is not that. Tampa Bay is
No.
what's gonna happen with Tampa Bay? Um,
Yeah.
Tampa Bay was 50, 26, and 6. They had 106 points. They were tied for second in the division. One on the head to head, but they got bounced in the first round due to the third seed. Remember, every single 2-3 seed matchup, third seed won.
Mm,
Uh,
that's true. Yeah.
so Tampa Bay's power play was 20.7%. That is 17th in the league, which is not what
Okay.
you expect for Tampa Bay's
No, I mean
power
it's
play.
not terrible though, right? It's middling.
It's
It's middling.
it's solidly in the middle.
Yeah.
Their adjusted power play was 18.3, which is 16th, exactly in the middle.
Exactly in the middle. Yeah.
Now the penalty kill was 82.6, which is third.
Okay, that's really good.
A- Adjusted was 84.9, which is eighth. So still top 10.
Okay, still top 10. Yeah. Anything
Your
top
goals
10, I'm going to
for?
say is good. That's good.
Absolutely. Your goals for were 290, which was fourth in the league. And your goals against were 231, which is second in the league. Again,
Damn.
yes.
Yeah, damn.
Um, your defense played excellent. Your goalies played excellent.
Which is so
Your
weird because
cat.
we were ragging on their defense for a lot of the year. But they played okay, you
Well,
know?
we ragged on it because we didn't trust it, and then it just kept performing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
That's what it was.
Kept being like, has to break at some point. And it
This
did in
and
the
it
playoffs.
never did.
Well, it did
Um,
kind of in the playoffs finally.
I don't know because remember it was a 1-0 game, Game 7,
I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
or it was a 2-2, like 2-0, two
Well,
one.
okay, to get back to our conversation at the very beginning of the episode, does that give John Cooper some credibility then? Because
It
we
gives
look
them.
at that defense and we're like, that's a shitty defense. That's going to be bad. And also, Victor Hedman was out for like a majority of the season.
It was a good point, and like again,
And he made
I
that defense look pretty good. So, is that a plus
I
for
think
John Cooper in that, you know?
I think he had a bunch of credibility, but Vasilevsky and Kucherov winning their respective awards takes
Takes
the credibility
away,
away.
yeah. I think it's
Again,
I think if I
Kucherov
was
should have won it.
yeah,
I
Vasilevsky
do
questionable.
not believe Vasilevsky should have won it.
Yeah, okay. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'll say why once we get to like top players and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, so you don't have any RFAs, not a one,
Okay.
but your cap space is 13 million. So if you don't have RFAs, that means you got
That
UFAs.
means you got UFAs, yeah.
And surprisingly, you only have 5 UFAs. But your UFAs are Corey Perry,
Eh, it's 40.
1.2, 1 year, $2 million.
Okay,
70,
yeah.
72 games played this season between the Lightning and the Kings. 17 goals, 20 assists.
That's pretty good for a guy who's
That's
40.
solid.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty good for
a
a four,
41
a
year old.
41-year-old
Yeah,
player.
that's
Yeah,
real good.
that's honestly, Godspeed. Good for
Uh,
him.
Oliver Oliver Bjorkstrand, 31-year-old right winger, is coming off a 5 by 5.4 deal. He played 80 games, 12 goals, 20 assists, 32 points.
Mm, not a great
Um,
season for him. Only 12 goals.
no. You got Shafee, Mitchell Shafee, who is a 28-year-old right winger.
Okay. No idea who that is. I'll be totally honest with you.
His contract was 2 years, sub 1 million.
Okay.
He played 11 games. He had 1 assist. He did have 57 points in Syracuse, though.
All right.
Then you have Deacon Carlisle, who's a Group 6 UFA, 26-year-old left defenseman,
Okay.
coming off a 2-year Vetman deal. He played 42 games. He had 1 goal, 2 assists.
I'll be totally honest. Sick name. Deacon Carlisle.
Yeah.
That's a good name. That's a good name.
Yeah. Your big UFA, who you cannot bring back with 13 million, is Darren Radish.
Yeah.
Who is coming off a 73 games played, 22 goals, 48 assists.
What a fucking year by Darren Radish.
Who is coming off a 2-year, sub $1 million deal.
That's insane that he had the season that he had. I mean, my man's going to get paid this offseason.
He is 29 years old, or he's 30 years old now. He will be 30 for this next season. He has played 5 years in the league. This year, he had 70 points.
Mm-hmm.
The year before that was 37, and the year before that was 33.
The 37 and the 33, I think is where I would think he would be normally. But 70 points? Good lord.
Because injuries had him be on the top line.
Maybe he's suited to be that top line guy.
Puck mover guy. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like I
Someone's going to take a risk on him, or take a flyer on him, a gamble, and pay him like $10 million.
I 10 I think is I think that's a little 8 I could see 8. I could see
I could.
8.
I'm taking. This is again a super game. Like
Yeah.
there's so many teams going for him. It goes into a bidding
It
war.
goes into a bidding war. Yeah.
Someone throws a 10 at him, and
And he
again
never scores 20 goals again. Or maybe he does. I don't
and
know.
maybe he does, but if he's 30 years old, the first time he's ever done
I
this.
think I saw a report that Tampa's opening offer to him was like 7 points or 5.75, I think. Which
I
I
saw
think
that.
like I honestly think
That's
that's
lowballing
fair.
him.
That is
I think it's
lowballing him,
fair.
but as Tampa Bay, I think that's fair because I'm like, you've literally never done
Do it
that
again.
before.
Do
Do
it
it
again.
again. Yeah, do that again. Take 1 year 5.75, or we could bump it to 6.25, something like that, 6.5.
Yeah,
Do it again, and then we'll pay you the moon, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
But if I'm a GM, I'm thinking like, exactly that. Like this is the only time this guy's come anywhere close to 20 goals. He had 22 goals,
Well,
and
it's
I'm
the
just
first time
like,
he's had over 40 points.
I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust the 1 year of 70 points. But somebody is
No.
gonna. If I'm his agent, I'm telling him we got to go to free agency. Somebody
We
is going to
got to
give
go
you
to
a
free agency.
shitload of money because of the season you just had. We need to cash in now.
Now. So
And I think he
he,
should. He should get that bag
I think
because
he should.
he signs in, let's say San Jose, right? San
Yep.
Jose needs defensemen, and
Mm.
they got a ton of cap space. I could see
But
them throwing
San, but,
$8 million, $10 million at, maybe not 10, $8 to $9 million at him.
but San Jose needs defensemen. Radish wasn't the
I,
defenseman.
dude,
He was
like
the
we
offensive
went
guy.
over this.
I
Like
know.
they're like 5 of their 6 starting defensemen are free agents
You're right.
in San Jose. Why not bring in Darren Radish? You got like $45 million in cap space.
You're right.
Fuck it.
You're right.
Bring him in for $8 million. You got a puck moving defenseman. You take a young defenseman at number 2 in the draft. You're set up, right? I think he might be able to replicate it in San Jose just based off of the
Of
guys
the
that are
offensive
in
talent.
San
Yeah.
Jose. Maybe not the
I think
20
that's
goals,
great.
but the points maybe. Maybe his
Yeah.
assists go way up. Right, because you got Celebrini, you got Will Smith, Eklund, other guys like that. You got offense in San Jose.
You do.
Maybe
You
you
do.
can replicate this season out there.
That's very possible.
But if I'm him, I'm saying sorry, Tampa Bay. I'm going to free
I'm
agency.
going to free agency.
I'm taking the highest bid I can because
And-
this is the only time I'm going to get paid this much.
Absolutely. So like you have a guy, you also have a guy like Carl Edward Dastow. Dastow
Hmm.
came onto the scene this past year, showed he was doing a very good job defensively. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and his contract is $875,000.
Yeah.
Lilleberg, $850,000. Max Crozier, $875,000. Like that's your defense right now. Like
Yeah.
Crozier has 2 more years at that number, but Dastow only has 1. He could also if he
Boy,
replicates
I
the
didn't
year that he
realize how
just had.
cheap Tampa Bay's defense is currently. Outside of like Hedman and like Chernak, but
Well, that's why everyone was just like, all right, this can't.
this
Like,
can't
they're
work.
only
Including us.
this
We were
can't
like,
work.
there's no way this works, right?
You have Crozier, Dastow, Lilleberg, and Radish all under $1 million.
Yeah, at the beginning of the
That was
season,
your
I
depth.
think at the beginning of the season we were like, "There's no fucking way this defense works." Right? You got Hedman and Chernak, who we know are known quantities, right?
Yep.
And all these other
And
guys that are
McDonough.
just cast. Oh, and McDonough, all these other guys that
And
are just cast-offs from other teams.
and it was J.J. Moser as well. And this was
Oh,
the
and
year
JJ
also
Moser,
J.J.
right?
J.J. Moser emerged from a good defenseman to a shutdown defenseman, and who was
Yeah.
partnered with Radish, who could cover for Radish any defensive problems. That's
So, like at the end of the day, if you're Radish, you're like, do I go to a team that's going to give me a shitload of money, but maybe not be that playoff contender? Or do I
mm-hmm.
take a pay cut and stay in Tampa and play with Moser and play on this defense that I really excelled at
Yep.
previous seasons and that could threaten for a cup or at least a deep playoff run?
And I will say, next year Tampa's cap is 41 million.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
here's the thing.
But not this year. That's not their cap this year.
Well, there's not this year, but this is the last year of Kucherov's contract.
Oh shit. They're going to have to give him so much money.
Exactly. 41. He'll have
He's
41 million.
he's going to set the record for whatever the highest contract is right now, which I think is Kaprizov, right?
It's
It's
17.
17 and a half or something. So Kucherov is going to hit. Oh man. That's something
Yeah.
interesting to watch this offseason. I didn't realize that
Mm-hmm.
is what they got to
Kucherov's
get. That extension has to happen this season, right? This
It
offseason.
does. Kucherov's 9.5.
Oh my God, double that. Easy.
Yeah.
He just won the Hart. Double
Yeah.
that. So
It's his second one.
oh my God. What's the max contract's 20 something, right? Currently?
Right now, yeah.
He might get that. He might get
Yeah.
the max contract. For whatever if I'm Tampa Bay, if I'm Julian Brisbois, I'm like what gets you to sign here? Like I need you to stay.
He's 32.
I understand that, but like
But what you call it? The max contract is lower now.
yeah, at right now it's going to be
Yeah.
higher next year. So
I'm talking the max length is lower.
Oh, max length. Right. But maybe
so you don't have to pay him till he's 42.
Oh, that's
you don't
true.
Have to pay him,
That's
you
true.
know, you can only pay him. You only have to pay him till he's 40.
Not even that long. You only have to pay him till he's 39, right? Well, oh no, you're right. 40. You're correct. But like maybe even you don't do the max length. Maybe you're like, I'll give you the max cap hit for 3 years, and then we'll see when you're 35.
The fact that he only has a 10-team no trade list protection right
That's
now.
also insane. How did Julian Brisbois? How did you do that? That's crazy.
Because
honestly,
probably
he's a fantastic general manager too. Because those contracts that he's
probably
figured out
because
in
he's
Tampa
just
Bay,
like, hey, if we're bad,
I'll trade
you can leave.
Yeah, I'll trade you too.
Like
Or
type
you
deal.
just tell me where you want to go. Yeah.
Yeah, not
But what do they have? They have 2 cups, right? Or 3?
They have 2. They went to
3.
They went to 3 in a row. They have 2. They went to like 4.
So Kucherov has
they went
2
to
cups.
Eastern Conference Finals too.
Kucherov's got 2 cups. He's got 2 rings. I think there's a really great argument for giving him the max cap space for however many years he wants.
Yeah.
And just say like, hey, let's do 4 at 21 million. You're worth it. You just won the Hart. You have 2 cups. You're by far the best player that's ever played in Tampa Bay. Right.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Stamkos. Kucherov is the best player that ever played in Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Sorry,
He's the best Russian player.
LeCavalier. Sorry, St. Louis. He's the best player that's ever played in Tampa Bay.
He's the best Russian player who's ever played.
Yeah.
He'll go down as the best Russian player.
You think he eclipses Ovechkin eventually?
Ovechkin said he eclipses Ovechkin. He's just like
Yeah.
Ovechkin says he's better. Like Kucherov's better. Like, yeah, Ovechkin has more goals, but Kucherov's better.
True. I mean, he might very well eclipse Ovechkin in points for Russian
Yeah.
players eventually. He's got. I don't know how far behind he is. He's got to be kind of close at this point, like within 500 points, I would think.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little crazy, but
No, you're right because
Ovechkin's
Ovechkin is
never
what
been like an
1,600.
assist. Ovechkin's never been an assist guy, right? He has 900 goals. He's never been an assist dude. Um,
He has 900 goals. He has
but he has some
700
assists.
assists.
Yeah, he has a good amount of right. He's like 10th all time in points or something like that. But I could see Kucherov eclipsing him eventually.
Kucherov has 1,100 already.
Yeah, and Ovechkin's what 8 years older than he is, so
Hmm.
that'll be something to see in this offseason what that extension is going to be. But let's get back to Darren Radish. Ain't no way they're signing Darren Radish. I don't
Ain't
think
no
so.
way they're
I
signing
don't think
Darren
so
Radish.
unless he decides to take a pay cut, like a severe pay cut, to stay in Tampa. I don't think there's any way they can re-sign him.
No.
All right.
Top players are Kucherov, 76 games played, 44 goals, 86 assists for 130 points.
Oh my god.
He played 6 games less than McDavid. Uh,
Give him $20 million. Fuck it,
for
dude. Like
for
fuck
those
it.
130, only 8 points behind McDavid. Six less games played. He could have easily matched,
Eclipsed him.
if not
Yeah.
eclipsed. Yeah. Number 2 is Gensel, 81 games played, 38 goals, 50 assists for 88 points. And then Hagel, 71 games played, 36 goals, 38 assists for 74 points. I will also say Vasilevsky, 58 games played, 2.31 goals against average, and a 9.12 save percentage, which is your
Your Vesna winner.
Vesna winner. Shoot, give me 1 second. Logan Thompson, 58 games played as well, 9.12 save percentage as well. He did have a higher goals against average, but goals saved above expected was 29.3, while for Vasilevsky it was 24.7. So that's where I'm bitter and being a homer.
I totally agree. No, yeah, I don't think that's even a homer take. I totally agree with you that Thompson should have at the very least been a finalist for the Vesna. I don't
Yeah,
understand why he wasn't. Like,
I think it was. I think for Vasilevsky and Sorokin, Sorokin's harder. I think for Vasilevsky is name brand.
I think he's name brand. I think Swayman to a certain extent is name
Swayman
brand
had
too. But Swayman doesn't have a Vesna, right? Or does he?
Swayman had a good year. He does not, but he was um he had his goal. He had 55 games played, 2.71 goals against average, which I think the 2.71 is around Thompson's
Okay.
save or goals against average.
Mm-hmm.
But his save percentage was 908.
Okay.
Um, but his goals saved above expected was 28.8.
That's pretty high.
To again Vasilevsky's 24.7.
Yeah, I don't know.
Vasilevsky is fourth in goals saved above expected. Sway, Swayman is actually number 1 in goals saved above expected per 60 minutes, with
Mm-hmm.
Thompson in number 2, Sorokin in third.
Which is
Basically,
which is
Sorokin
crazy.
is in
That
third
shows you
for all of
how
these stats.
bad of a last quarter of a season that Sorokin had because he was first by far for 3 quarters
Yeah.
of the season, and then he ended up third in all of
Yep.
these stats. And it's just like the Islanders just crashed and burned after the Olympic break, like
Absolutely.
so hard. including Sorokin. And we talked about this a month and a half ago at this point when
Yeah.
the season was coming to the end, where there was that pivotal game between the Penguins and the Islanders, where I didn't realize it fully, but the Islanders' defense was so bad.
So
It was
bad.
so bad because the Penguins put up an 8 spot on them in that game.
Yep.
And there was multiple times in that game on those goals where you just watch and you're like, they're barely playing defense, at all. So I don't know. Maybe Sorokin should have been dropped for Thompson in that voting, but
No, Vasilevsky should have been dropped for Thompson.
yeah, I was gonna say like
That's
by
where I
all the
am.
stats that you're talking about, it's like maybe Vasilevsky
God
should
damn
have
it.
been dropped. Oh man, all
Because
right.
Vasilevsky and Thompson had the same save percentage, while goal save above expected it has a 5-point swing, 4.5-point swing.
Mm, poor
Damn it.
Thompson. Maybe next year. Maybe next year Thompson won't get shafted out of a
It's because Washington
an
didn't
award.
make the playoffs.
Maybe. Yeah, could. I mean, the Islanders didn't make the playoffs either. So,
Ah,
whatever. Thank you guys for listening. As always, we can be found wherever podcasts are found. Give us a rate, review, subscribe wherever applicable. Blah 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 blah. We will see
blah.
you next week for more season wrap ups. Hopefully,
Any news?
we'll see some maybe trades or stuff starting to heat up, at least news wise. I don't know if they'll happen, but we're getting close to the draft, so
Yeah.
I think stuff is going to happen between now and the draft. Now that the Stanley Cup final is over, but that's a hope, right?
Yeah.
It could be super boring between now and then.
It's probably going to be boring.
It's probably going to be
because
boring.
all of these GMs are so risk averse.
No, let's go,
Ex-
Kyle Dubas. Let's go. Let's crazy
Except
train.
for
Crazy
St.
train.
Louis and Armstrong.
Yeah, St. Louis
but
is the
he's
only
gone.
one that's like, let's fucking go. Let's do qualifying offers or offer sheets. Excuse me. Anyway,
Yep.
we will see you guys next week at the same puck time.
Same puck, please.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.